Welcome in to Rock Hard Ball, part of the Dogs Media Network at College Football Dogs. Let's get rock hard. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into another episode of Rock Hard Ball. As always, I'm Carter Longi. That's Kyle Wells. We got Clyde back as well. He's right off the side here on camera. You want to give us a little wave? Yeah, there's Clyde. So he is here. He'll be there for Kelly's Kinky Rankings. He is micless, though, for a lot of the episode. If we do some MLB talk at some point, I'll pass mine over to Clyde because he's a little bit more well-versed in that area than I am. Other than that, he'll just be off Kelly's Kinky Rankings. A lot of good stuff planned today for today's show. We got College Football Week 7 recap, NFL Week 6 recap. The Heisman favorites for us after Week 7 in college football. We'll do Rock Our Takes, Kelly's Kinky Rankings. Not part of the show right now because for those who kind of follow around on social media and stuff like that, we have been having to push the show back multiple times. So we are also going to do our College Football Week 8 preview and our NFL Week 7 preview. So very similar to what we had last Thursday. A lot of issues with some little dorks being in our studio, so couldn't quite get her out of doing it. But as you can see, we're just back in my place again. So I guess I'll give another disclaimer that like we had last time. We are in a college house with other people, so you might hear some rumbling around, maybe some little bit of background noise, but it'll probably be kept to a minimum for the most part. But just put that disclaimer out there. Just be careful. But anyways, let's get into the actual episode. So first things first, we're going to do the College Football Week 7 recap because that's what we've been meaning to do for a long time after we push the show back twice. Obviously, the biggest games from the past weekend and the ones that we're going to talk about a little bit. Texas dominated in the Red River rivalry over Oklahoma. Oregon beat Ohio State in the biggest game of the weekend, 2 versus 3, our first top 3 matchup of the year. So that was a fun one. Penn State survived against USC. Alabama nearly lost again. Another close call. And LSU, I don't know, maybe we're around them at this point. They outlast Ole Miss in overtime. So we'll talk about that one a little bit too. But first, let's get going here with Texas, Oklahoma, Red River rivalry. Again, Texas won this game by a final score of 34-3. Very dominant performance. First quarter was a little bit slow. But then they come out and they score 3 touchdowns. They get 21-3 lead into the half, and then really no looking back from there. Quinn Ewers, back in action for Texas, kind of getting things rolling again. Seems like we ask the question every single week with the top teams, but is this more Texas is really good, Oklahoma is bad? Maybe it's both.
Feels like I say both every time. I'm actually going to lean more Oklahoma. They just don't have a quarterback. They can't move the ball one bit. And then my hot take from this game is what's going on with Texas, throwing shots to Baker Mayfield. He's not been there in 8 or 9 years. We can let that down a little bit. Weird to me.
Yeah, no, that's weird. It's not quite 8 or 9. I think it's 6, but still a little odd. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, I think Texas is also just very good. Oklahoma, kind of had flashes early at times. But yeah, you're right. They don't know what they're doing at quarterback. Would be a completely different team, I think, with Dylan Gabriel under center. If he would have stick. Oh my God, stuck around. I'm trying to say sticking. It's just not a word. But yeah, if he would have stuck around, would have helped a lot. Michael Hawkins Jr., a true freshman, doing his best out there. But I think this Texas team is just too much. I mean, another good point too is just they're so dominating on both lines of scrimmage too. It's going to be tough for any team to beat them. Obviously, they have a huge game this week coming up against Georgia. We'll talk about that here more in a little bit. But another good win for Texas. And yes, Oklahoma just doesn't really look quite like the Oklahoma of old this year.
Yeah, I mean, also I don't want to discredit Texas. They look like they're the true only a full football team where they've not looked bad at any point. When Quinn Ewers goes down, Arch Manning steps up. They still look dominant. It's the only team you could say that across the country about. So, I mean, again, not going to discredit what they've been doing too.
Exactly. Another big game here. Probably the bigger one, really. Maybe should have let off with this. I don't know. But Oregon was able to take down Ohio State. It was, I think, one of their second top 3 win ever, or something like that. But a really big win for Oregon. Obviously, they were a team that a lot of people saw as a very good team coming into the year, was going to compete for the Big Ten title and a very high playoff seed. But really, at the end of the day, we really didn't know how good Oregon was going to be. Or were they quite ready for that next step up in competition? Looks like they proved they are. Again, they came to this one ranked number 3, but they were able to get the win 32-31. Had to kind of come back a little bit. They were trailing in the fourth quarter, but able to come down, get ahead. Dan Lanning apparently might have had one of the
that was
greatest coaching whatever loopholes of all time with the
Yep.
12 men. Apparently, the NCAA is like looking at banning that now. So really good game from Oregon. I mean, Ohio State played well too, but I think this was just clearly a game between two really good teams, and Oregon had a chance.
Except Denzel Burke, he got torched all night. He was awful. Ohio State Twitter just going off on him for like the past week has been just so funny to watch. And then you have to bring it up. Ohio State has a game problem.
I think they have a Ryan Day in big game problems. I don't think it's.
You think it's Ryan Day or Knowles? Because I saw a stat. I don't remember it by heart, but like 2023, Michigan didn't punt in the fourth quarter. 2022, Michigan didn't punt in the fourth quarter. 2022, Georgia didn't punt in like past 6 years of their biggest games. They have not forced a team to punt in the fourth quarter, which like you're just not gonna be able to win those games if that's a trend that's going to keep happening.
Yeah, it's concerning. I mean, I didn't know that was stat. Brennan's in the comments here. You said sit up, Weezy. So I guess he wants to look a little bit more presentable. So
kind of comfortable.
Yeah, he's listening to the crowd here. But anyways, yeah, I think both these teams are very good. I think they're both going to be in it right towards the end. I don't know how it's going to work out in terms of the Big Ten championship. I don't know if they can both get in at this point. I think it'll depend on what Penn State does. I mean, Indiana, maybe. You never know. I don't think so.
Let's not go down that route.
But yeah, we'll get to them eventually in the preview probably. But yeah, no, I think they're both very good. I'm excited for Oregon. I don't know. They're a team that I feel like is one that's like easy to maybe not necessarily root for, but like, I don't mind seeing them.
No, I mean, obviously I, loved the ending of that game. I loved how it turned out. I also think, how am I blank? Like if this is at Ohio State probably wins. And I would even say neutral ground, probably Ohio State. Like going to Oregon for a night game is always tough. So I'm not going to like sit here and say Ohio State's dead. Their fan base thinks they are, but no, I mean, it's a tough loss. But again, Ohio State the rest of the way, their toughest game's Penn State, who, I mean, we'll talk about them later, did not look good.
Yeah. Speaking of it, let's just go there right now. So Penn State survives USC. They win 33-30 in overtime. So even in the overtime, they weren't able to score the touchdown. They were trailing at the half. It was 20-6. Ended up outscoring them though. In the second half there, Drew Aller was 30-43, 391 yards, 2 touchdowns. But he also threw 3 picks in the game, which is a big problem for Penn State. He's not going to be able to do that against better teams. So Penn State gets to 6-0. USC falls to 3-3, but I mean, you've been saying it all season. I've kind of agreed with you for the most part. There's definitely trouble on the horizon.
Yeah, Penn State's not good. I will give James Franklin credit for the one play that they drew up, maybe the best play I've ever seen in my entire life. Did you see it? Where they shifted their entire offensive line over to the left side. Their left tackle, who's actually their tight end, then became the center, and he's technically allowed to catch balls. So he snaps it. Running back then laterals it back to Drew Aller, who's lined up as a receiver, and then go route to the center.
No, I did not. I don't know how I didn't see that, but
I wish we had a clip of it. It's like one of the more brilliant design plays I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, that sounds crazy. I wish I could see it because then I could have elaborated on it more. But I mean, that's the one thing for Penn State.
You try to pull that up real quick on like your phone or something.
I mean, what are we going to show it on the camera?
No, I just want you to see it real quick.
Okay. But yeah. Anyways. Penn State, we do have to give credit where credit is due. They continue to win games, whether it's pretty or not. But at the end of the day, yes, Drew Aller has to be better for Penn State. Otherwise, they're not going to beat the big teams. They're not going to be a legitimate national title contender, which I've never thought they were really a national title contender by any means. But I did think, and I still do think that they have been pretty properly rated for most of the year. I think they fall somewhere probably within that. Maybe at their peak, they could be like the 6th best team in the country because I think there's a little bit of a drop off down to somewhere in like that 10 range. And yeah, they're going to make the playoff. They'll probably win their first game, but I don't think they're a real national title contender.
Okay.
So
yeah, it's fair. I mean, I don't think they should make the playoff. I don't think any game in there is like a for sure win for them. I get if they are like a 7 or 8 seed, they're going to get a home game, which is very different. But yeah, like you said, and like we've talked about, they're going to get in just because. What are their 2 tough? I think USC was pretty much their 2nd toughest game.
What the hell are you doing? We have a producer commenting on our show.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
But no, outside of Ohio State, I'm trying to like look up their.
Aren't you supposed to be finding that clip?
Penn State sucks.
Going to give Clyde another 1 show suspension.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, they go to Wisconsin, which this week, which I actually think
That could be
that could be very interesting. Ohio State at home, they're going to lose that game pretty convincingly. And then outside of that, I don't see another loss on their schedule because Washington, while they beat Michigan, proves they're also pretty fucking bad. So,
yeah. All right, let's move forward. I guess probably spend enough time on Penn State. Let's talk about Alabama, who almost lost again 1 week after losing to Vanderbilt. They played South Carolina. Alabama had the lead. They were up by 8, and then South Carolina ends up scoring a touchdown at the very end of the game. They had to go for 2, obviously, to have a chance to tie it up. South Carolina was actually winning going into the fourth quarter, but South Carolina has a chance to go for 2. They aren't able to get it. So Alabama escapes the 2.
Well, and then they
also kick the onside kick.
They get the onside kick. Yep.
It's been so damn long since those games, but yeah, they kick the onside kick. They get it, but not able to get within a place where they can put points on the board. So, I mean, Alabama doing a lot of what they could to lose that game and somehow escape.
Yeah, I don't want to full panic, but I'm going to slightly panic.
Yeah.
So not full, slight.
Yes.
Right. But no, they got to get things figured out because obviously they're ranked number 1. Everybody thought after they beat Georgia the way they did, it was close at the end. But jumping on them 28-0, that this team was legit even without Saban. They just have not looked very good at all these last 2 weeks, and they look like anybody can beat them.
Yeah. No. I remember where you're at. Panic meter is just like at, I don't know, probably like a cool 5, cool or 6. I think you're definitely not freaking out by any means. You're still 5-1 with a win over Georgia, but I mean, their fans are lying to themselves if they said that they're not at least a little bit concerned that they lost to Vanderbilt and then turned around. And I mean, a little different too with the South Carolina game. This one's at home.
Yeah,
the Vanderbilt game is on the road. This is a home game against South Carolina, who again has been a frisky team all year long. We've said it a lot, but they're still 3-3. It's obviously at some point they're gonna have to start winning games. So you can't really give them too terribly much credit either. I mean, they're 1-3.
No, but it was also a perfect. You just came off a bad loss. It's a perfect setup to go out there and prove to everybody, hey, like, yeah, we lost to Vandy. It was embarrassing, but like, hey, we're still Bama. We're still at the top of the food chain. And they didn't do that to me or to I think most people watching. I don't think anybody's coming after these 2 weeks saying, oh, they're still could win the Natty. It's like they could on paper, but like they need to play a lot better for that to be the case.
Yeah, absolutely. LSU able to outlast Ole Miss. Another game that went to OT, and LSU was able to pull it out. Ole Miss kicked a field goal on their possession, and then LSU was able to score the touchdown. So they win this game 29-26. Obviously, maybe we and the rest of the country were a little bit too high on Ole Miss in terms of just writing off that loss as a fluke. Because even after this game, like I'm still just not sold on LSU. Like, I mean, yes, they got the win. But it's at home. It's against an Ole Miss team who I guess, at this point, do we really know how good they are? Garrett Nussmeier completed less than 50% of his passes and threw 2 interceptions. And I'm seeing people talk about him in the Heisman talks. I don't know where that.
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous. No, I mean, I was really high on Ole Miss. I thought they'd be good. And like Dart's still putting up the numbers, but they don't find ways to win, which is, I think, more of a Lane Kiffin problem. Like at what point do we just all come out and say he's not a very good coach?
Yeah, I don't know. I see what you're saying there. It's weird because I mean, coming into this year, everybody's kind of like Kiffin's. Depending on what jobs open and where, like Florida was the one that was thrown around a little bit. It's like Kiffin's probably the top coach on the market, like in terms of like.
And he still probably is, but
no, you make a good point. I mean, there at some point, Ole Miss has to get over the hump. Like, I think it was Jackson Dart looking like Anakin Skywalker in his post-game press conference who says they have to win out. He's right. They do probably have to win out now to get into the playoff because otherwise. I mean, things get pretty testy. I don't know. I'm assuming at some point we will see a 3-loss team into the playoff, but I just don't know if it'll be in the first year. Again, they have lost Kentucky at home, on the road to LSU. Outside of that, they should theoretically win 4 of their 5 games, and they have Georgia at home. If they win that game, they'll be back. They'll be in the playoff. But
yes,
if they lose that game, I mean, there's definitely no guarantee they'll still be on the bubble, but. There's a pretty good chance that 3-loss team gets left out.
Yeah, I agree. Like you said, though, it all depends on how all the other teams fold out. But no, I don't think this is going to be the year where we see a 3-loss team in.
And they might try to kind of set a little bit of a standard. You're not going to get in with 3 losses. They don't want to set that precedent right away. Wait for a special case, probably where
like Alabama where they lose to like Georgia, Tennessee. Yeah, exactly.
Something weird like that. But yeah, they're definitely in trouble. Jackson Dart's right. They got to win out, I think. Yeah, the one thing that they can maybe afford is who just went. No,
Mookie went deep.
All right. But yeah, one possible scenario would be a close loss of Georgia, maybe, and that's if probably barring Georgia wins out too. Anyways, That'll do it though for kind of the big games of the weekend. Not other than that, other ones that might be kind of notable. Utah did lose on Friday, 27-19.
Looks like Cam Rising probably shouldn't have played.
Yeah, maybe you should hit the cleats. Looks a little bit washed.
They already announced that he's not. He's done.
Yeah,
he's demoted to the backup.
Redshirting.
Yeah,
He's redshirting.
No, he's not.
You guys are being
No,
serious.
he can get another year of eligibility.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so there's a very good chance Cam Rising's going to be back next year.
So what? He's 25 now, right?
I think so. Yeah.
So he'll be at
25.
26 slinging that thing. Jeez.
Let's see. I'm trying to see his actual age here. So he's just not telling me. It just says senior.
Which senior's not accurate too. That guy graduated in 2020.
He graduated twice. Cam Rising age 25. Yeah. So
yeah, he'll be 26.
He'll be 26 playing. Yep. Yeah. Would be a little concerning for sure.
Well, will he be playing?
I don't know. I don't know what. No, but yeah, no, that is real though. Like he can come back for another year. Because I think they're technically saying like he's like hurt still. Is like why he can't play. So like I think technically you can get another medical red shirt. Is how it works. So
I mean, you get a job.
Yeah. No, seriously. Obviously, didn't play very good either.
No, I mean he
Like
threw 3 picks, but I mean it was clear he was though still injured.
Yeah, maybe just hit the cleats. I don't know. Other games, Georgia, a little bit hairy for a second with Mississippi State. They only won by 10.
Yeah, Mississippi State's awful.
Yeah, but they're awful. Tennessee escaped in overtime. I forgot to even mention that. We probably should have kind of counted that as a highlight game. Tennessee almost also lost again. Them and Alabama both are a little bit of skids right now. They escaped Florida. Florida hasn't been good this year, at all. But Florida at the same time has kind of had Tennessee's number, I feel like, for what seems like years. It's a rivalry game, so I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I think this one's a little bit more acceptable than Alabama's close game.
Yeah, I agree for sure. And then also, Florida, can we stop with the 2 quarterback system?
Yeah. No,
it's getting ridiculous. Go with one. If you want Graham Mertz to play last season fully out, you're not going to get into the playoff. I don't know if they might get to a bowl game. I haven't looked at what their schedule looks like the rest of the way. Just let the freshmen go. The last thing you need to do is just do this shit and then roll out Graham Mertz, then put in Lagway. Next thing you know, Lagway's going to be out of there.
Yeah. No, wholeheartedly agree. Iowa State, another one that we talked about, maybe a little bit of a trap spot on the road at West Virginia. Took care of business, though, 28-16. BYU continues to roll. They won 41-19 over Arizona. Boise State and Gene T had another good game. He had 30 carries for 217 yards and a touchdown and a 28-7 win over Hawaii. Kansas State escaped Colorado. Colorado almost came storming back. Travis Hunter got hurt. Really, really impressive game from Shadur. He only had 6 completions, which was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But Colorado, that win for Nebraska looks better really by the day with Colorado. They've been a lot better than I thought they would be since then. Other than that, not a whole lot else to note. Pittsburgh beat Cal by 2. And then Illinois.
Yeah, that was the crazy game.
I should mention that. Purdue somehow almost beat Illinois, which was pretty crazy.
Yeah. Well, how much were they up again? They were up like 31, I think.
It was 24-3 at half. So,
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and then Purdue scored 40 points in the second half. So, yeah. Apparently, they switched play calling duties this week, which maybe had an effect on it, I guess.
Yeah.
So, maybe
watch
Purdue
out Oregon then, right?
Yeah, never know. Maybe Purdue will be a little bit more interesting. All right, so that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the AP poll post week 7 in college football before we kind of look ahead to week 8. So I get that pulled up. Okay, so here we go. 16th to 25. 25 is Navy. Shout out. 24 Michigan. 23 is Army. So Navy.
Michigan just building a little barrier around Michigan.
Yeah. Yeah. So Michigan is plenty safe. They got the armed forces around them. Illinois then at 22. SMU is 21. Pittsburgh's up to 20. Missouri's 19. Ole Miss is 18. 17 is Kansas State. 16 is Indiana. Off the rip here, not really anything that really jumps out at me.
Indiana is just getting higher and higher. It's just fraud watch after fraud watch. They have not played a single soul.
Yeah, that's very true. Other than that, though, I mean, everything here seems pretty fair to me. I think they're all fairly properly rated. 6 through 15, we've got 15 as Boise State's, 14 Texas A&M, 13 BYU, 12 Notre Dame, 11 Tennessee, 10 Clemson, 9 Iowa State, 8 LSU, 7 Alabama, 6 is Miami. Most notable ones to me here are the 8 and 9 spots. LSU now all the way up into the top 10 at number 8, who still just don't really believe in them, but I guess whatever. We have to give them some type of credit for continuing to win. Iowa State at 9, just continue to climb, and looks like they might be clearing away the best team in the Big 12 right now.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you win your games, you deserve to be ranked that high. Except LSU, I agree with you. I just don't think they're very good.
Finally, the top 5. Number 5 is Georgia. Number 4, Ohio State. Number 3, Penn State. Number 2, Oregon, and number 1, Texas. So Texas rightfully there at number 1. Penn State at number 3 seems outrageous, but I mean,
I guess win your games.
They just keep winning. So until they lose, I'm sure they'll stay there. But barring no losses to the teams in front of them. Ohio State just drops 2 spots after their loss to Oregon, which I think is fair. It's on the road against the number 3 team in the country at the time. I think that's whatever. All's fair in love and war. And then finally, Georgia rounds out the top 5. I don't know anything.
No, you hit on it. Penn State at 3 is just outrageous to me. I think a lot of those teams in the top 10, if not all of them, would beat them. So, no, not much there outside of that.
Yep. All right. Finally, before we'll go to a quick commercial after this, and then we'll get back in and we'll do some previews for this upcoming week's big games. But before we do that, let's take a look at our top 5 Heismans right now. So I'll just run through my full list here, and then I'll give Weez a chance to kind of run through his. So I got GT at number 1. I feel like that's the clear option right now. I think he is rightfully the odds-on favorite. I mean, he's on a historic pace, going to break Barry Sanders' records. Possibly not, for sure. But as of now, he is ahead of pace on breaking his records. So crazy season if he keeps up anywhere close to that. I think he is fully deserving of winning the Heisman, especially if Boise State wins out and gets into the playoff. 2, I've got Dylan Gabriel all the way up there now. Even when Oregon was, relatively struggling early in the year, Gabriel was always still a steady force for them. He was always playing efficient. That win against Ohio State in the game where he played damn near perfect, I think was a Heisman type moment. So if he continues to play clean and just propels Oregon to, maybe a top 3 seed in the cultural playoff in a Big Ten conference championship, I think there's a very good chance that he will be right there in it to win it. 3 is Travis Hunter. Said it before, say it again. I'm right there with everybody else. He plays both sides of the ball. I think it makes sense. You got to give credit where credit is due. Even if Colorado, only wins maybe 7 games this year, I think he definitely deserves to still be in consideration because he's the heartbeat of that team. Does a lot for them on both sides of the ball. 4 is Cam Ward. He kind of drops a little bit, I guess. I think technically last time I had him at 3, maybe even 2. But it's not really his fault. It's more just a factor of the guys behind him that moved in front, just playing like ridiculous. But he's still been very, very good. I think that he would still be a good pick in terms to actually win the thing. Because if, again, a lot of this is protection stuff. If Miami were to actually go on and win the ACC and go undefeated, and Cam Ward puts up the stats that he's putting up, there's a very, very good chance he wins it. But as of right now, I guess I'll stop at 4. Then finally 5. Try to get creative a little bit here. I didn't want to, get too chalk. Want to throw kind of a random name in there. I actually have Cade Klubnik here at the 5 slot.
Wow.
It's probably a little surprising for most people. If you look at the Heisman odds, Vegas actually doesn't think it's that crazy. I think he's actually top 10 in the odds. But outside of the Georgia game, I feel like nobody's really noticed Clemson hasn't played a ton of top games, which is why you got to take it with a grain of salt. But Cade Klubnik has been damn near perfect. His stats have been off the charts. Clemson has been blowing out opponents ever since that Georgia game. So if Clemson can win out, they get to the ACC championship game, and he keeps putting up these stats. Don't be surprised if he ends up, being a finalist there at the end of the year either.
All right, yeah, I have GT number 1 too. Pretty much his to lose. And going back to how you said, especially if they remain perfect, if he breaks Sanders' records, across the board, I don't give a shit if they lose out. He still deserves it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And that's why I also have Travis Hunter at number 2. As much as I do think team, record matters and how much you attribute, Travis, there's 1-on-1 in college football, and it's Travis Hunter.
Yep.
Nobody else does what he does. Number 3, I do have Cam Ward. This one's more of a projection. I do think they win the ACC, and if they do that, you and me both know he's just going to put up the numbers to do so because he is.
It's the only way they can win.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been proven the last couple of weeks.
So, and that's why I have Gabriel number 4 because I don't think they're totally one-dimensional. Compared to Miami, if they want to keep winning, I think Oregon, can spread it around more. They can ground and pound if they need to. And then 5 chalk, but I don't really if Texas just rolls through everybody and is truly the best team, Quinn Ewers has a good chance if he stays healthy and plays the rest of the year.
Yeah, no, Ewers would have been top 5 for me for sure. Maybe even top 3 if he never gotten hurt, but obviously,
oh yeah, he would probably be top 3.
But. Yeah, missing a couple games, hurts. But I think you're right. If Texas rolls, goes undefeated, and especially if he plays
he's at
good,
least getting an invite. Yeah,
if he plays good in the big games, particularly this upcoming week, that'll be very good for his Heisman case. But yeah, those are our top 5. So as of now, we both agree that GT should be the Heisman and would win it.
I mean, whoever doesn't have him doesn't watch football enough.
Football. Unless you're like a power, I don't know,
Unless
power,
you're like a
power 4 elitist, I guess. I don't know.
or if like you're a huge Colorado fan.
Yeah, no. Also, really quick mention, Travis Hunter again. Shout out, been very good this year. But the quote of him saying that if he had 95 catches, I'd be the Heisman. It's no shit, you'd be on a historic pace to crush, shatter the greatest wide receiver season of all time. Yeah. That's just not how that works.
Yeah, and GT is currently pace to break the record.
To break 2 of the records that
nobody thought would get broken ever.
Yeah, the most untouchable records in college football. So yeah, Travis Hunter, again, shout out. You're a very good player, but yeah, that's not how that works. Also, if you had 95 catches, you'd still only have 100 more yards than GT. I saw, because he averages only 1 more yard per catch than GT does per carry.
Yeah, what does he average per carry? 9, and then
9 or 10.
I thought it was 9, and then Travis and then averages
10 and a half, 11
reception.
So, yeah, it's crazy. Just shout out to both players, but let's keep things somewhat straight to a point. Okay. That being said, though, we're gonna go to quick break here. When we come back, we are going to get going with our previews for Week 8 in college football. Another big week with some really big matchups here. Our second week in a row with a top 5 matchup. So we're going to get into all that stuff, and then after that, we will get to NFL eventually. A lot of good stuff left in today's episode. We still have Rock Hard Takes and Kelly's Kiki Rankings. Rock Hard Takes tonight is going to be the best amount of beers to drink in one night. So I don't know. That's about all I got for the descriptor there. And then Kelly is doing the best athletes that are artists, I believe. Yes. So
it's going to be painful.
We'll see how horrible. We're going to see how horrible that is tonight. But yeah, that being said, we're going to go to a commercial break. You're watching Rock Hard Ball, part of the Dogs Media Network at Culture Ball Dogs, and we will be right back.
On the College Football Dogs website, you'll find a main page that features some of our biggest and newest stories. Our conference pages for content related to your favorite team's conference. Our team store, where we have products that are available all year long, as well as gear available for a limited time only. Our podcast page, where you can see when one of the 12-plus College Football Dogs podcasts is streaming live on social media. Our subscription page, where you can join our Discord. If you're interested in becoming a contributor at College Football Dogs, email us at info@collegefootballdogs.com. If you enjoy any College Football Dogs content, we really do appreciate any donations you can make by visiting the donate page on our website or scanning the QR code here.
College Football Dogs, for the fans.
Alrighty, welcome back to Rock Hard Ball, part of the Dogs Media Network at College Football Dogs. Another reminder, check out the website, collegefootballdogs.com. Obviously, got a big weekend of games coming up, so we'll have previews to get you ready for that. So check out the website, find your favorite team. Search bar is pretty easy to use, top right of the page. So check that stuff out. But getting back into things here, we're going to take a look now ahead at Week 8 in college football, get you all previewed up for that and ready to go. So we'll just run through some of the bigger matchups here. Maybe at least mention each top 25 matchup. I don't know how descriptive we're going to get each one. But Oregon's going to have Purdue on the road, Friday night game. We just had Purdue's offense put up some points last week. I don't think that there's any chance that Purdue wins this game, but I will say 20.5 might be too much in this one.
I mean, it's a big spread for anybody, especially, a conference game. But outside of that, I agree with you. I think Oregon's going to stop them.
Mm-hmm. Also, coming off their probably most emotional game of the year, which can maybe slow a team down a little bit. Oklahoma State and BYU. BYU is going to be favored by 9 in this one. Oklahoma State is really falling off a cliff. Not really sure what happened there, but they've been very bad. Not nearly as good as they are in my dynasty. BYU is continuing to roll. They're 13 in the country now. They're right there trying to keep pace with Iowa State. I don't know. They at this point, I think you have to admit they're a very legitimate contender to win the Big 12.
Yeah, they are. To me, the spread makes no sense. just with how bad Oklahoma State's looked these past 3 weeks, like I think 9's way too low. And
I think they're still just holding out hope for the talent on the team.
okay, but it's totally vice versa with BYU, who's only looked better after I'm trying to think, what was the first win that BYU kind of put them on the map of like, oh shit, like this team's legit.
The shit stomping of Kansas State.
Yeah, the shit stomping of Kansas State, and then it's like, okay, now we're gonna shit stomp a pretty good Arizona team. Vice versa, an Oklahoma State team who's just been completely falling, to hell. I don't get 9. So as a betting man, I will be taking Oklahoma State -9. Not Oklahoma State, BYU -9.
Okay, I was gonna say Oklahoma State -9 would be a crazy outline play after what you just said. Miami's gonna go on the road to Louisville. They're favored by 5. Louisville at one point looked like it was probably gonna be the only ranked remaining game on Miami's schedule that was a ranked opponent. Sorry, kind of screw that up, but they are not anymore. They dropped a little bit after their loss. Who did they lose to again? I already forgot.
Louisville, Virginia. No, Notre Dame and SMU. Yeah.
SMU. Okay, yeah. So they dropped out of the rankings. Now Miami probably doesn't have a chance for another ranked win on their schedule because after that it's Florida State, Duke, Georgia Tech, Wake Forest, and Syracuse. So this is still probably their best remaining opponent on the schedule.
Syracuse could maybe win a few more games and find like a 25 spot.
Could be a chance, yeah. But as of now, I would say most people will probably agree this is their toughest game remaining. It's on the road. So I think this is a big spot for Miami to go maybe try and help their eye test a little bit because they've had a couple of close games where they haven't looked great, had to have some late comebacks, had to have Cam Ward go, Superman mode.
Clyde, I cannot read that far.
Duke is good.
Duke is good.
Football 5-1.
Yeah.
I kind of doubt they're still actually good from what I've seen, but I mean they're 5-1. Yeah, fair enough.
I mean it is.
They could probably win out.
Didn't they almost lose to North Carolina, or did they lose to North Carolina?
No, they beat North Carolina. Still, it's rivalry game. That's why it's tough. They can win out these 9 games.
Okay, well maybe Duke will be ranked then, but I still think that Louisville's probably the better team. I guess so. Anyways, moral of the story, I think it's a somewhat bigger game for Miami than maybe people think it is.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think every game is just the way that they've looked the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, ranked or unranked, like I don't care who they play, it's not looked good. So, really got to tighten it up.
Yep. Next one on the schedule, we got Virginia and Clemson. So Clemson's favored by 20.5 in that one. I have to imagine that they either cover or get close to it. Virginia's not great. One more game I think that people expected them to this year already with 4 wins, but I think Clemson takes care of business here. Do you really have anything to add there?
I agree with that. Yeah, and just the way Clemson's offense has been rolling, I just don't think Virginia can keep up with that.
Yep. Missouri is 5-1. Their one loss was a ass kicking from Texas A&M on the road, 41-10. Bounced back with a big win against UMass. Tough opponent there, 45-3. And now they turn around. They play Auburn in a conference game. Missouri only favored 4 points here, even though a lot of people see Auburn as one of the lesser teams in the SEC. So, I guess, what's kind of your thoughts on that for Missouri only being favored by 4?
Yeah, I'm going to put a lot of money on Missouri. Like you said, Auburn's really, really bad. I think they are probably just with how crazy that conference is. I might be missing out on a team. To me, they're the worst team in it.
Then we're Mississippi State.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, obviously, they played Georgia, closer than they should have. But one of those two is obviously, like you said, the worst. And as much as we kind of dogged on Missouri last week, rightfully so, I still think they're a much better football team than Auburn.
Yeah.
So that game's at Missouri, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think 4 is too low.
Which is crazy. Yeah, because if you use the general rule of thumb of like
minus
3 points, yeah, home or away, it's like you're really telling me that Auburn would be a 2-point favorite at home, or a pick 'em at a neutral site. Doesn't really make sense. But moving forward, I guess Army is going to host East Carolina. They're favored by 16, should win. Yep. First big game here. Alabama goes to Tennessee, 7-11. 2 teams that have struggled a little bit as of late. They both got upset, and then the week later, they both had another scare coming off of their upsets. Milroe and I don't know how you say it. Nico.
Lamana.
Yeah, Lamana. They've both been a lot more mediocre. What the hell does that look for? What? You get the stink eye. Don't like little M&M? Huh? They both looked a lot more human, though, I guess, the last 2 weeks than they had early on. Nico, of course, wasn't ever super crazy, but looked really good for being his first year as a full-time starter. And then Milroe looked like arguably the best player in the country, and he's definitely come back to earth a little bit. So not really sure what to expect out of this one. Tennessee's offense has struggled at times, but their defense has been really good. Alabama's offense has been really good, but their defense has struggled at times. So a real, really a perfect matchup in terms of strength versus weakness and weakness for strength for both these teams. What do you think happens here? Alabama's favored by 3 on the road.
I genuinely don't want to pick one. I don't know who wins. I think this game being at Neyland is a huge factor. We saw what happened 2 years ago or 3. Yeah, 2 years ago. It's just one of the toughest places to play in America. That's a straight fact. I am going to maybe tend to lean experience here. So I think Alabama has the experience of maybe not their head coach, but Jalen Milroe's been there before, while Nico hasn't. So if I had to choose, I'd probably say Bama wins a really close one. I think we also have shootout possibility here.
Yeah, I'll go same boat as you. I would probably lean Alabama more because I think that although Alabama's defense has struggled at times, I think the offensive struggles for Tennessee have been worse than Alabama's defensive struggles, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think at the end of the day, that's going to win out probably. I think there's a better chance that Alabama's spotty defense can get stops against Tennessee's at times spotty offense than there is for Tennessee's defense, who's been very good to stop Alabama's offense consistently because it's just way too explosive. Nobody can shut it down.
Yeah.
Even that Vanderbilt game, that's probably the only chance Tennessee has to win is a shootout.
Yeah. That's exactly why I said it, and that's why I think it's going to be close. That's why I think Vegas thinks it's going to be close, is because I think Alabama, that defense has proven that it's very beatable, and I think Tennessee is going to be able to score points. But I would lean Alabama because, like you said, Alabama offensively has not been the problem. Whether it's Vandy, whether it's Georgia, which obviously they won that game, but they've been able to put up points all year.
Sorry, I was laughing. Cascon said, "Can we get Calvin on the couch so I can screenshot and compare you guys to the 3 10-year-olds?"
Can we sit in the middle?
I don't know. Sure. Pop the squad really quick. Cass, you ready? You better get ready for your screenshot. There's Calvin. He's here. I don't know how a lot of we counted that, but all right, get out of here. Okay. Back to business, though. Moving past that game, Notre Dame's going to go on the road to Georgia Tech. Maybe a slightly difficult game. You never know. Georgia Tech can be a little frisky at times. Haynes King's good. Notre Dame's going to be favored by 9.5, though. And again, they just have to keep winning, being dominant going forward to get that playoff spot. I don't do any.
No, I think this game is, though, going to be pretty close.
Think it's going to be close. Think Georgia Tech covers.
Yeah.
Charlotte and Navy favored by 16. I'm not going to really.
Go Navy.
Go Navy. Mississippi State's going to host Texas A&M. A&M is favored by 18 on the road. I think that game will be pretty close to the spread, but I could see Mississippi State covering it. I think they proved last week that they can at least hang around with some of the top teams.
Yeah, it's at home too, which plays a big factor. They're going to have to hear fucking cowbells every single second.
Yeah.
So they could cover. We'll see though.
I hate playing against Mississippi State in college football.
No, it's just Cowbell City. Yeah.
I had to turn my volume off sometimes.
What's worse, the 24/7 constant cowbells or Florida State just the Seminole chant on a 2nd and 7 3-yard run?
I mean, every single place kind of sucks, honestly, because if it's not those things, it's just the band playing their little cadence over and over again.
Over and over again. Yeah. It's brutal.
Just over and over. Yeah. LSU and Arkansas. Interesting game for LSU. I think there's a very good chance they could lose this.
I think they do.
Arkansas is plus 2.5 at home. They're 4-2. They have that win against Tennessee. Obviously, that was their last game. They're coming off a bye. They're going to be well rested. And I think I'm probably in the same boat as you are. I think that there's a actual chance, and I probably would pick Arkansas to win this game. Yeah,
I think it's just a massive letdown spot for LSU, who we both just don't think is good. I think Arkansas is going to come in here, head hunting, and I think they, take care of business at home.
Yep. Big game of the weekend. Second week in a row, we had a top 5 matchup. Georgia is going to go into DKR Stadium, and they're going to play the Texas Longhorns, favored by 5 in this one. Over under 56.5. Vegas thinks it's going to be a lot of points scored. We got 2 of the best quarterbacks in the country facing off, Carson Beck and Quinn Ewers. Who do you think wins out here in Texas?
I think Texas. Simply, it's just, I think that offense is just too fast for every single team in the country. I saw it firsthand with Michigan. It's just they get the ball out so quick. They're so explosive everywhere. And then outside of that, they have which I think's not even really that close. They have the best offensive line in the country. So,
yeah, no, I agree. I think that Texas's line play can really dominate in this one. They're a very experienced group on both sides, so that could play a big factor, of course. And like you said too, the speed is crazy for Texas. It terrorized Michigan, who's one of the better defenses in the country. I mean, well, maybe I don't know.
On paper,
yeah, on
they
paper,
don't play like
one of
it.
the better defenses in the country. Maybe not actually, but yeah, the Texas is very good. I think that's going to be a close game. It's going to be good, but I actually wouldn't be shocked if Texas can cover the 5. I would probably pick them to win by a touchdown. So,
Okay. Yeah.
UCF is going to go into Iowa State. Iowa State favored by 13.5. UCF is a decent team, but I think Iowa State probably covers that.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing.
Kansas State's going to go to West Virginia. Seems like every week we're just like, we got a Big 12 team going to West Virginia. And we're like, I don't know.
And every time they're going to cover. So give me Kansas State cover. It's a low spread again.
Finally, we have SMU going to Stanford. Stanford's bad. SMU is good. So they're favored 16.5.
What a great analysis on that one.
Some insightful analytics there. But I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what to say about this game. I don't know either of these two teams very well.
Yeah, neither do I. Yeah, I'll choose SMU to win.
Yeah. All right. Finally, let's circle back. Let's go to our teams. Michigan's going to go to Illinois. Michigan favored by 3.5 on the road. Illinois is ranked 22. Michigan's ranked 24. I mean, Michigan is still favored by Vegas, but I mean, who would have thought, preseason looking at this game, we would have had Illinois being the higher ranked team in this matchup?
Yeah, not me. Line was like 1, I think, this morning. It dropped like 2.5 points after Illinois decided they were going to wear those fucking hideous uniforms. Did you see them?
I'll look it up.
It is truly the worst uniform I've ever witnessed in my life.
It's a cool concept.
It's a fine concept. Like their helmets, they painted them to look like they're like old time leather helmets.
Oh, I did see those. No, I did see those. Yeah, they look horrible.
So bad. Line moved after they announced that for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I did see those.
You're not allowed to win a football game wearing those.
No.
And then also, I think Vegas, keeps moving towards Michigan. I know they lost to Washington. They were on bye last week, but 2 weeks ago they lost to Washington. But we watched the game together. That offense became so much more, fluid once Jack Tuttle came in, and they said it's going to be him for the rest of the way. I think Michigan wins. I think they're more talented.
Yeah, I'll probably piggyback off you on that one. I do think that Michigan changes a lot with Tuttle. Just the ability to just even if they don't throw the ball a lot, just the threat that they can throw the ball.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we don't have to run it on 3rd and 7.
Yeah.
That's a big asset in football, guys. Like, I don't know if you guys know this. Like,
kind of forgotten because it almost never happens anymore in terms of like just not having a quarterback that can complete a forward pass.
Yeah,
but
it's nice to be able to throw it on 3rd down.
Yeah, welcome back to the 1920s Michigan. Welcome back to the 2000s now. But before though, yeah, it was wild. All right, let's get to the final game here. Nebraska, gonna be big noon kickoff against Indiana. Indiana's up to 16 in the country now. They're favored by 6.5. Listen, I know that Indiana's undefeated, and Nebraska's had that one loss to Illinois. Offenses look stagnant at times, but Indiana's beaten FIU, Western Illinois, UCLA, Charlotte, Maryland, and Northwestern. It's one of the worst strength of schedules in the entire country. They haven't beaten anybody. I get that Rourke is good. Cignetti looks like he's a good coach, but I think that Nebraska is going to win this game. And I think the spread, at the very least, is a no-brainer.
Yeah, I mean, my play here is my play here is Nebraska money line. Like you said, they have not played anybody. I'm also just going to hate bet against them for example, I don't need to see every single week. What's the coach's name again? I keep forgetting.
Cignetti.
Yeah, I don't need to see the clip every single time of the
I win.
Yeah, I don't care. I hope they get crushed. I don't know if they will get crushed. I think it's going to be
I think it's going to be a good game.
I think it's going to be a good game, but I think Nebraska wins this one like 24-17.
Yeah, I mean, the whole question is going to be, can Nebraska's offense score points? They've looked a little up and down at times. I think the one really encouraging stat that's been kind of circulating around between different, whatever talk shows and Twitter and stuff like that is Rilo this year is one of the highest graded quarterbacks in the entire country when he plays against zone pass coverage. When he plays against man, he's one of the worst. Indiana this year have played like 160 snaps of zone and like 30 in man. So if they sit in the zone all game, I think there's a very good chance that Nebraska's offense can thrive. And even if they do man up, I mean, you never know. Maybe Rilo can, kind of get some things figured out. I I mean, I think he's only going to get better as the year goes on. So
yeah, but also like as a Nebraska fan, this is like a dream situation though too. You know, you came off a bad loss. You were hoping to go 7-0 going into Ohio State, and now you're going to give me an Indiana team who hasn't played anybody, and we get to go to their place. They're ranked 16th somehow, like because like if a win here, in which I think most people would say like a win here is what they hope to do. Like they're immediately going to fly up in the rankings.
yeah, no, if Nebraska wins this game, I think they might even go top 20 right away because they're right outside looking in right now.
Yeah,
they're 27, I think technically if you look at the received votes. So yeah, people might think it's a homer take, but I think that Nebraska is the better football team here. I think they win the game. So that's going to do it for the preview. I don't think we really have anything else. I guess we got a comment from Jerry. Said fuck Indiana, but they have beaten every team by like 33, right? Nebraska has struggled to put up points in one of the halves of every game.
Yeah, but
every team that Indiana.
I mean, UCLA is brutal. Charlotte's awful. Northwestern's awful. I mean, they play on a lake now. That's how bad they are. And then Maryland team, who I thought looked good week 1, who then I continue to bet on. Turns out they're fucking awful. Like if you lose to 10 at home against Michigan State, you're a bad football team. So no, there's not a single quality win here. And sure, they beat Western Illinois 77-3. That was more of a cowardly act by them, though. Like you had to go for the 77.
Oh, yeah,
cowards.
And yeah, I will admit the Nebraska.
Show me Indiana has a top 4 offense. Yeah, they haven't played anybody. That's the point.
They beat them by 70.
I think Clyde is practicing. Practicing sarcasm.
I'm being sarcastic. Yeah. They're not the 4th best offense in football.
You should have just said that. You're still allowed to speak. You're just.
I know.
I'm reading it as like a text.
I didn't want to chime in on that, but I do hate the Hoosiers more than anything, Big Ten wise. So yeah, I'm really excited for us to kick their ass. So
no, I agree. Like their offense looks unbelievable, but they have not even played remotely close to a defense like Nebraska.
You know, definitely the more valid half of the point here in the comment is that Nebraska has struggled to put up points in a half a lot of times, which yes, if there's one thing that concerns me there, it's more of the Nebraska offense rather than the Indiana offense, especially with how good Nebraska's defense is. I think if Nebraska can score over 21 points in this game, I think they win. I think that the defense can hold Indiana to 24.
Yeah, I said 24. I think 24 gets them the win.
Yeah. I think that's fair. All right, let's take another quick break here. When we get back, we'll get into the NFL recap, preview stuff, and then of course we're still going to finish off with Rock Hard Takes and Kelly Kiki rankings. But that being said, let's go to a quick break. We'll be right back here on Rock Hard Ball, part of the Dogs Media Network at College Football Dogs.
On the College Football Dogs website, you'll find a main page that features some of our biggest and newest stories. Our conference pages for content related to your favorite team's conference. Our team store, where we have products that are available all year long, as well as gear available for a limited time only. Our podcast page, where you can see when one of the 12 plus College Football Dogs podcasts is streaming live on social media. Our subscription page, where you can join our Discord. If you're interested in becoming a contributor at College Football Dogs, email us at info@collegefootballdogs.com. If you enjoy any College Football Dogs content, we really do appreciate any donations you can make by visiting the donate page on our website or scanning the QR code here.
College Football Dogs, for the fans.
Nobody's going to beat up a 12-year-old.
Alrighty. I guess no one's going to beat up a 12-year-old, is what Weezy was talking about there. Beg to differ, I would. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Disclaimer.
Chat, clip that.
Don't clip that. Anyways, NFL Week 6 recap. We already talked about Thursday Night Football. Niners got the win, 36-24. Let's get right into Sunday. Bears, Jaguars in London. Bears offense finally looks to be rolling. Caleb Williams looked good. They won 35-16, which is tough to do against the Jaguars in London because they usually are very, very good over the crowd.
Yeah. So, that is true.
The Bears, give props where props are due. They're part of the best division of football. So,
indeed. I mean, coming out party for them for sure, but also it's like, God, this Jacksonville team is awful.
Yeah, they're really bad. I'm gonna pass the mic to Clyde for a second. Let's get his overreactions as a Bears fan on the win.
This is really good. This is really good, dude. We're 4-2. I thought
You
we were
sounded like,
lose.
come on, like this is really
This
good.
is really good. This is really good. Yeah. Job's not finished, clearly. I mean, the Jags are pretty dog shit, but I really thought it was gonna be a close one. But I'm really looking forward to Commanders. Rookie versus rookie. I am so tired of Jaden Daniels every single fucking week getting like, oh, he's the Pepsi Rookie of the Week. 5 weeks in a row. Means nothing. All right. So I think the Bears, we might actually have a shot of like making the playoffs this year. Like we might actually like
Yeah, you guys
we might lose the wild
You guys
card.
are 4-2, man.
We might lose the wild card, and I'll be happy about that because we made the wild card.
That's loser talk.
But best division in football, you gotta. I mean, I know we're clearly not the best team.
All right, it
We're
also
second,
has
third.
not been brought up, so should we deep dive into that schedule?
Oh, the Bears, or
Yeah.
it's really easy.
By far, without a doubt, the easiest so far in the league.
Yeah.
Commanders are going to be a good test, and then you sleepwalk through 2 more. Well, Cardinals aren't a sleepwalk, but Cardinals are a lot, less frisky than we thought they'd be going into the year.
Marvin can't catch a ball right now.
I'm pretty sure he's still concussed.
Can't catch a ball, man.
Then you go to the Packers, Vikings, Lions, Niners, Vikings, Lions, Seahawks, Packers. That is a brutal stretch for Bears fans.
No. Packers will split, or we'll lose both.
When was the
Lions,
last time you guys split? Like 2014?
I
That's
Okay,
like the most
I don't-
guaranteed.
okay. So no, it's 18. Yeah, 18. We ended the year. We have
No, 18 was the Percocet Rodgers year.
we've beaten the Packers like 2 times.
I don't think you
That
guys
had,
have won since 2018.
Before 2018
Right, 'cause I think-
was Thanksgiving. I vividly remember that game. It was awesome. Jay Cutler was the man, and I was really happy. We should have swept you guys that year in 2018, but
Yeah,
Khalil Mack
Perk
doesn't know-
Rodgers.
doesn't know how to play quarterback, so Khalil Mack couldn't really carry us that. I mean, rest of the schedule, yeah, it's looking a little rough. 49ers, I don't trust them. Their whole team is fucking hurt. Brock Purdy sucks.
Yeah, but I mentioned it because it's like week 12.
Yeah,
So hopefully
Packers are currently on a 10-game win streak. It's tied for the longest of the
Yeah. I mean, we'll probably. I really want to split with the Packers. I mean, Jordan Love's a little bit of a
no,
wild
I'm sure obviously you want to. I'm just saying you can't just say we're gonna split with the
card.
Packers.
I mean, he's totally a wild card. Jordan Love right now.
Goat.
I mean, yeah, he's a very great quarterback, but like, he has to. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna,
Jordan loves the goat.
all right. Yeah, Jordan Love's a goat. I mean, I'm not shooting for like 11 wins. I just want 10 or 9. Please give me 10 or 9.
I think where you guys are at now with the talent you have, I think 9 should be the goal.
Yeah,
I think 11's just not realistic.
Yeah. But like, it's gonna be tough though, because I genuinely think like
I think the one thing that like people are going to overlook here, I'm going to just continue to harp on it. I think the Vikings aren't a good football team. They're good. Okay, I won't. They're good.
they are
but, like,
good,
The
but
fact that they're like the Super Bowl favorites right now, and
Yeah.
like they're I can't stand that talk, but
Yeah.
we'll get into it. So
yeah, I have Aaron Jones on my fantasy team. I mean, he's a little iffy.
Right.
Cam Akers is the guy apparently. So
It's enough Clyde for you guys. We'll have him back later, but for now we'll stop the torture. But yeah, no, the Bears are obviously they're in a good spot. You want to win 9 games, but yeah, no, he's a little bit probably on the delusional side with 11. 10. Okay. All right, whatever. Anyways, let's move forward. Other games. Colts Titans. Colts won 20-17. Flacco played, so that's why they won. If A-Rich would have played, probably lose by like 80. I'm kind of starting to just be in the boat of that he might just suck. Also, do
Are we in the
I
boat
don't
that
know-
he sucks, or can we just be in the boat where like somebody should just pick up Joe Flacco because like when he comes
Yeah.
in, they just win fucking games. It's
something about Flacco.
It's true.
something about Flacco.
Okay, again, it feels so long ago at this point that I can't remember. Was the Levis like tuck roll take out the ball boy's knee this week, or was that last week?
I think it was
past
last week. I think it was last
Okay.
week.
He did have
So did he have no meme this week?
No.
He had 3. He had one.
The
where-
Spider-Man one was that this week or?
Yes,
that
that's why I'm
was-
so
no,
confused.
that
I
was
don't know.
this week, and then he also had one where he threw a pick and then they fumbled it, I think, and then he recovered it, and then
I thought Spider-Man and Ball Boy's knees were the same week. That's why I thought they were both this
You're
week.
right. Yeah,
No,
you're
it
right.
was this- he had
Yeah,
three-
you're right.
he
Yeah,
had-
there was,
so
yeah. Okay, it was this week. The
Yeah,
Spider-Man
people-
and the Ball Boy.
People were
Okay,
saying that
yeah.
there was 0, but he had 3. He had
No,
3.
no, Spider-Man and Ball Boy were both good.
Yeah.
He did technically 3, but I mean, the last one, it was funny, but like
I mean, dude,
he
threw the
rolled
ball
up
straight and
Spider-Man.
got it. I mean, the Spider-Man.
I mean, the mean part of it is more the photos that we get out of it, like because the ball boy one too. He's just like mid somersault, like about to take out this kid's like this knees. So
Yeah.
right, so it wasn't a kid; it was like an actual
Grown
man.
ass
But
man.
yeah, it was
Still going.
a full grown man. But anyways, I don't care about either of those teams. So Texans pounded the Patriots 41-21. Encouraging play though from Drake May.
Yeah, he
for the
looked really
Patriots.
solid.
That's definitely the takeaway for Patriots fans in this one. Threw a couple picks, but for the
I
most
think
part,
that's just what he's going to be, though, right? He's
Yeah.
going to be a gunslinger. Like he's going to turn the ball over. Like I'm not going to compare him to this, but I think we're going to get like flashes of like year 1 and 2 Josh Allen,
Mhm.
where it's going to be a little wild, but there's going to be a lot of upside to it to be hopeful about.
Yeah. I've got a lot of belief in May. I thought he was solid coming out of college. So I'm interested to see how he does, and don't have any reason to root against him. So hope he succeeds. The Bucks had a hell of a comeback in their game against the Saints. Final score ended up being 51-27 after the Bucks scored 27 in the second half, 20 of that coming in the fourth quarter. Mayfield just continues to be a stat machine. Threw for over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns again. Saints have come just crashing back down to earth. Yes, we haven't even really mentioned it much tonight, but Thursday Night Football is also on. They're down 26-3 to the Broncos. So at this point, I know all the talk was they scored 91 points the first 2 weeks of the season. I'm going to try and look and do some quick math here. They probably haven't combined for that the last 5 weeks now, have they?
No, they haven't. I mean, also though, like to be fair, not a lot of it's on them. They're just a living hospital bed right now.
They're 80,
and it's about to be 34.
Okay, yeah, they're
33. My bad.
They're currently at 81 combined points through the last 4 games and 3.5 quarters, which is still 10 points less than what they had in the first 2 weeks. So just want to throw that out there. But
yeah, I mean, they're just bad. I mean, nothing they could really do though. Rashid Shaheed, the news today was like they messed up his meniscus surgery. I don't know if you guys saw that. Now he's done for the year.
Done. He's out for 3 to 6 months.
Do you see that?
yeah, no, he's done for the season. Yeah,
He's done. Spencer Rattler's just coughing up footballs right now. It's just not a good time to be a Saints fan.
Yep. Sad times in New Orleans. Move forward though. Shout out Bucks though too. They're a good team. Eagles won 20-16 over the Browns. Another just ugly win really for the Eagles. I mean, the Browns are terrible. Jalen Hurts miraculously didn't throw any picks this game, which seems to be like one of the biggest shocks in the world. But the good news is for the Eagles, AJ Brown is back, Devontae Smith healthy. So that's big for them. Saquon, healthy. As long as they can stay healthy, they're going to have the roster to be in every game and win a lot of games. But I don't know, man. The whole Hurts thing still has me a little concerned.
They just don't look good. I mean, I think last year's just absolute collapse is kind of still spilling over, despite a little bit of an okay start. Obviously, they just don't look good. The coaching is just a huge problem at this point. Like, I just don't know what to think about the team. And to be honest, I just don't know what to think about the NFC East.
Yeah, it's a very confusing time. Let's talk about another NFC East team. The bright spot in the NFC East, the Commanders. They lost 30-23 though this week to the Ravens. But honestly, still a good sign, I think, for the Commanders. They hung right around with a team that's thought of by many as to be one of the best rosters and one of the best teams in the entire league. And at the end of the day, you had a chance to win the game, really. Jaden Daniels continued to look good, doing 24 for 35, 269 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's also the leading rusher, only 22 yards, though. So that's concerning as far as between your running backs, you couldn't get more than 30 yards. Shout out also specifically to Derrick Henry. We all thought he was washed, thought that this was not going to really be, the greatest experiment. But, I mean, he has found the fountain of youth. I don't know.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable. And then also just Baltimore, dropped 0-2 and, that whole fan base was panicking all over. And now they looked like arguably the best team in football these last 4 weeks. So,
yeah, no, impressive stuff. Chargers took down the Broncos 23-16. Not a ton to be said in this game. I mean, Surtain left for the Broncos with a concussion.
Jim Harbaugh left.
Jim Harbaugh also had a little health episode. Something fluttered.
Flutter or whatever. It's like heart rate's an issue, I guess.
Part of the heart or something. But I mean, Chargers get the win. They haven't really won super pretty for most of the year, but I think that's probably what it's going to be a lot, especially in this first year with Harbaugh. Is probably just trying to win games, even if it's winning ugly. And they kind of continue to do that. I mean, they really dominated for most of the game. They're up 23-0 going into the fourth, and the Broncos got a couple scores to make that box score look a little bit better. But at the end of the day, Chargers kind of controlled things. Steelers won 32-13 over the Raiders. Raiders suck. The Steelers, had a good game.
And the biggest headline of this, it's maybe a foreshadow into our next week preview. But like, if you're the Steelers, you're 4-2, you're playing fine football, and we're gonna bench our quarterback. What's the thought process behind saying, all right, Russell Wilson, you get to go now?
I don't know.
All right, good enough.
That's all right. I don't know. Like, I don't know what the thought process is.
Yeah,
it's just, hey, let's hope that he's
like
a
maybe
little bit better.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me.
But then, why would you risk going out and dropping a game like right away and then throwing Justin Fields out of a rhythm? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It just doesn't. It's just bad coaching to me.
Yeah, it's
I don't think it's Tomlin. My guess would be it's front office.
Yeah, probably. But it's even weirder too because it's with Russell Wilson too. It's not like you went and invested money into this guy. Like you got him on a dirt cheap deal.
Yeah.
Like just keep him there as a veteran backup that can if Fields starts struggling, then throw him in a game. But there's just no point in putting him out there for no reason. Kobe, you've not missed Cludus's rankings yet. Those are still coming up. I'm sure they'll be awful as usual.
We still got a lot to get through.
So yeah, we still got a lot of NFL to get through here. We'll finish up with the recap in this week, and then we'll get into our preview for next week in NFL, rock our takes, and then we will finally get around to Kelly's Kinky rankings. Anyways, back to this though. Yeah, Steelers don't not making a lot of sense right now. Falcons beat the Panthers 38-20. I mean, it's a game they should have won. They took care of business. I don't really have a lot else to say on it. I don't know if you do.
Nope.
We'll
pass that one.
Burped right into the mic there. Bengals beat the Giants 17-7. Game that they had to win. Every game is damn near a must win for the Bengals, it feels like. Probably would have liked to see them do it in a little bit more convincing fashion, especially with the Giants playing without Neighbors and Singletary.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very ugly game, and like you said, a win to win. But at what point is it not? Because it's just the same, script over and over again with the Bengals. They either play up to their opponent or they play down. So at some point, it's like you got to beat this team bad. That's my take.
Okay. Let's go to our two teams before we go to Monday Night Football, because Monday Night Football, both those teams also had moves that were kind of this week as well. So we'll kind of just tie that in all together. But we can talk Packers first. They are able to beat the Cardinals, who, we said for most of the year was kind of a frisky team. Maybe this win from the Packers proves that maybe the Cardinals just aren't that good. But probably I would say the Packers' best game to date.
Yeah, 100%.
They win 34-13. Jordan Love goes 22 for 32, 258 yards and 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Hell of a kind of group effort on the rushing attack too. Jacobs had 62 yards, Wilson 54, Melton and Brooks both had a couple carries to get over 20 yards. The receiving core, again, really well distributed. Romeo Dobbs, after having the weird shit last week where he wasn't showing up to practice, wasn't showing up to meetings, everybody thought that trouble in Green Bay, they're going to trade him. Comes out, has 3 catches for 49 yards and 2 touchdowns. Christian Watson looked healthy, 3 catches for 68 yards and a touchdown. Jaden Reed also had a touchdown. The playmakers are all over the place. The Packers football is exciting right now for me. I really set it up pretty much all year. People have had their doubts at times. The Packers obviously Love went down with the injury. We didn't know what was going to happen. He came back, was a little rusty. People were kind of coming after him. I stayed true the whole time and never really wavered. I had pretty strong faith the whole time, so I'll give myself a pat on the back there.
Were you a rider?
Yeah, I was riding. I was riding the whole time. Also, Kelly said something about Love being a wild card. I don't think that's really quite true. He was had probably a few too many turnovers those first couple games back, but I think a lot of that was just rust. And also, it's been a very common theme on Packers Twitter. A lot of fans have talked about it, and I think it's true. With Jordan Love, you're going to get kind of the best and worst of both worlds in terms of he's got a lot of, last year, certain times we saw a lot of the Aaron Rodgers. We'll see a lot of the Brett Favre of him too.
Yeah, he's a combo of both of them.
He's gonna sling it. I think he is a little bit more accurate and a little bit, just a little bit more reserved with the ball than Favre was. But at the same time, he is not going to be Rodgers in terms of just throwing it away when it's not there. He's going to try and force it in there, make crazy plays. That he had one that week where he's running backwards, and it's he looks just funny as hell. His limbs look like they're all over the place. He just launches it downfield for a touchdown.
Yeah,
it's we'll take those, and then once in a while, those are going to get picked off.
No, it's just the style of player you're gonna, you have to, like you said, you have to live with.
And I think they knew that, like when they drafted him, I think they knew he was going to be probably closer to Favre than he was going to be to Rodgers.
Yeah, which again,
I think that's still okay though.
You tell me my future quarterback's going to be playing like Favre, sign me up, right? So I don't get that comment, but no, I mean it was like you said. I think this was the first one of this is the Packers we expected going into this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like we said, Cardinals can be frisky. They beat a 49ers team who obviously is down in the dumps right now a little bit, coming back. But outside of that, you're 100% right though. It's a huge win for the Packers. They look like they're back on track.
Yeah, I'm excited. Good win. We'll move forward. Your Lions.
Fetch me a beer.
As you fetch a beer. Good time to fetch a beer as we talk about the Lions, because this looked like the best team in football last week.
I've never seen a team, and not just a bad team. Like the Cowboys have been bad this year, but the talent on that team is still ridiculous. They're still a good team. I've never seen such a disrespectful win ever. I mean, we could talk about it. Lions win 47-9, never even close. First things first, everybody, just say pray for Hutchinson.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Just devastating.
Yeah.
Shed a tear, and obviously outlook for the rest of the season. It's not good. I mean, he was on pace to win Defensive Player of the Year by a landslide, I think.
I think obviously, if you're the Lions, you take having Hutchinson for the rest of the season 100 times over winning this game.
I know we talk about PFF kind of, being iffy, but he was averaging a 95 grade, which the only other player to ever do that was Aaron Donald in his best season ever, where he averaged 94.9. So he was truly having a historic season, and the injury too was just so disgustingly graphic, brutal. Good news is though, they said there's no artery damage, and he'll be ready to go in 6 months. So they said absolutely not career ending. He'll be able to absolutely recover. Bad part. Okay, so now back to the game. Obviously, what's this say more though? Because that's what obviously Stephen A. Is this a bigger panic for the Cowboys, or more of just holy shit, this Lions team is, probably the best in football?
Again, you're kind of switching roles here. Usually I ask you that. You're asking me that. I'm going to go with your class line. I'm going to go both. I think that the Lions are, we knew they were going to be a Super Bowl contender, and I think this just, again, solidified that they are one of the best teams in football. I think as of right now, I could say Packers played the best game of the season, but I still think I would be crazy to say that you're stupid if you don't think that the Lions are the favorite in the NFC right now. They look like the best team in the conference. But as for the Cowboys too, shit, they don't look good. They look like I don't know what the hell happened. I get that they lost some production from last year, specifically on defense, but this team's nowhere close to what they were last year.
You paid Dak a big bag. Dak looked awful. CeeDee Lamb, it seems like they can't get him the ball when they want to. Zero rushing attack, zero, which Jerry Jones, that one's on you. You brought back a 40-year-old Ezekiel Elliott. I don't know if you thought that would, change the tide in the running game. Breaking news, it didn't. So no, everything's, and then back to the disrespectful thing. Clearly, there was a grudge after that game last year.
That was pretty
Lions
crazy.
tried 3 different times for an offensive lineman to score. The very first play they reported Decker eligible.
Yep.
It was just, if you're running hook and ladders to your right tackle, Penei Sewell, that's just as disrespectful as it gets. And then the one screenshot, which is probably the funniest of them all, having 6'10", 350-pound Dan Skipper line up in the slot, that's an all-time photo, I think.
Yeah, no, it was funny, and yes, they were pissed, rightfully so. But really, I guess looking
to do it on Jerry Jones's birthday, it was just the icing.
yeah, cherry on top. No, it was pretty funny. It's always good to see the Cowboys just get fucked and embarrassed on national television. I don't think there's anything really better than that. So I'm here for it. Kobe said, "Whoa, Vikings fans aren't going to like hearing that." I'm assuming that was towards the best team in football comment.
We'll find out this week.
Yeah, we'll talk about it more in the preview here, but I don't know. I just don't know about the Vikings yet. Anyways, let's we'll just get really right into the preview, I guess, really for this week.
Clyde, you can speak up. I cannot hear you.
The Saints just put in their third string.
Okay. Saints on to their third string quarterback now.
Which makes sense. It's
State, baby.
33-3.
He played in the Chiefs game. They didn't play Rattler in that one. He played, so.
Rattler sucks. He should be the new QB1.
I mean, he's playing his first ever game as a starter.
Last week.
Oh, second ever game as a starter. Sorry. But
33.
yeah, I don't know. He's played. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we got Sam the Scam into the comments.
Lord.
Here we go. Bo Nick supremacy. Drew Brees 2.0. He said it all off season long.
Can we bring up his bad takes then? Like AR-15 MVP. We got that one spammed all summer long.
Yeah, Sam. Let's talk about AR-15 MVP because I think that was way off. Great point there by Weezy. But also you're acting like Bo Nix is like the Lord and Savior. I mean, it's be kind of your defense tonight. So I mean, to be fair. So I mean, listen, he's had his moments. He looked solid.
Yeah, no, he looks fine.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. He said AR got hurt. It's not fair. Thank God
he did get hurt.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
the Colts would be 0-6. So once again, Ron.
Fraudulent too.
Also,
you guys gonna give up a touchdown?
Sam, Laundry Boys are calling you out once again for hiding in the YouTube comments. You got to get over to X in the trenches. Cass said's classic YouTube comment. And he's just not backing down from this take. He said Alec Pierce would be a 97, 1,718 receiver with AR.
It's just no. It's just so factually incorrect.
Yep. And yeah, Cass said there's no threat of being called Ron over there in Disney World, Sam. So better get over to X in the trenches. All right. Back to football though. Broncos, though, yeah, they're beating the Saints. It's 33-10 right now. The Saints just scored. So I guess I don't know, maybe Spencer Rattler was the problem. Maybe you're right because Hayner just threw a touchdown pass. But anyways, let's get into the Sunday slate. So we're gonna open up Jags. What's up?
Monday Night Football.
Oh yes, sorry, I completely forgot. So Jets and Bills, two teams that were kind of middling there for a little bit. Didn't really know the direction they were going. Big Monday night matchup. Jets jump out early, 10-7 after the first quarter. They get that Hail Mary at the end of the first half to stay within 3.
We gotta talk about the Hail Mary, the Twitter thread you saw when Mahomes was like, "How's he so good at this?" LeBron's like, "For real, how's he do it?" And that one random Twitter user's like, "Am I right, fellas? Like, we should only hang out sometimes."
Yeah. I wish I could find it. I don't know where it's at, but yeah, that was damn funny.
He ratioed LeBron.
Yeah, he ratioed LeBron by like 40,000 likes on Twitter. That was awesome. Sam is into the Twitter comments now. Anyways, yeah, that was crazy. Back to the actual game though. I mean, Rodgers played his best game of the year and it's probably in his Jets career. I mean, unless you count those first 4 snaps of last year. I mean,
he didn't complete a pass.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah, he had the one pick, but still he was 23 for 35, 294 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. But for most of the game, he was really efficient. Alan Lazard had another game. Garrett Wilson had a good game. If you look at the Jets half of the box score, you probably think that they might have had the win there. But Josh Allen had a really good game. They got really, really good production out of Ray Davis stepping in for James Cook. Just a really, in general, well-played game, I thought, from both of these teams. But after this, they both knew that they had, upgrades, I guess, to make because they both went out, traded for wide receivers. The Bills brought in Amari Cooper, and the Jets brought in Devontae Adams, which seemed like it was inevitable at a certain point. So that being said, and now as we look ahead to next week's previews, how much do you think those two guys help those respective teams in terms of competing the rest of the way this season goes?
I think they both certainly help, and I think the biggest walk away from it too is they both got him for dirt cheap. I don't remember what they exactly both were. I think they got Devontae for a 4th round pick, which again, you're in win now mode with Rodgers. He's 40, so you understand that you're going to give away a 4th for a guy like that every single day of the week. I don't remember exactly what they got Amari Cooper for, but as well as the Bills have played, which I did not think they would be, and how good Josh Allen's been playing, it's been very clear that they need a number 1 guy, which Amari Cooper is going to step in and do that right away, which is big. And then speaking of this game too, I have a hot take. I might get just shit on in the comments for this. I think Red Zone has really distracted from the fact that the NFL product is not good. It's not great. I feel like it's every single primetime game where it's you sit down with one game on, it's okay, well, there's 40 fucking flags. We're going to commercial way too often.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, I mean, Twitter's don't want to fuss about it. It's At one point, we tell the refs, like, hey, can we just let them play football?
Yeah, that was kind of ridiculous. Rodgers talked about it in his post-game press conference.
Sarcastic ball.
Yeah,
Sarcastic ball.
sarcastic ball. But yeah, it's not good. It's annoying. Brennan said horrible take Weezy before you even like actually got to the actual take. You said when you hate in the comments. But let's see. Sam said if we're calling out bad takes, this random video of two guys in a red and black studio saying Giants are on 17-0 watch keeps showing up.
0-17 watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what's the record? I thought you said 17.
Oh, maybe I did, but I meant 0-17. I don't know if that's supposed to be like a like really bad to me because the Giants are still really bad. So I don't really know what that
like 0-17 watch is still like. I don't think we're gonna see an 0-17 team for like ever.
Yeah,
I'm just saying like the bad teams. I'm gonna like Malik Neighbors was a lot better than I thought. Turns out you're gonna get, he's not playing this week either. So one concussion, he just doesn't want to play anymore. He's gonna go to concerts though. That's bad. Also, definitely do not dig deep into my Minnesota Vikings takes.
Yeah.
I may have put them on 0-17 watch too. To be fair, though, that was well before I knew Sam Darnold was going to have a, huge resurgence to his career.
The second coming of Jesus Christ. Yeah. Anyways, Kobe said, fellas, when we get in a flag of Sydney Sweeney in the background, I can make a donation. Feel free if you want to, make a donation for some decorations for some studio look. If we want to keep going here, more than welcome. And Jerry said he's more of a Dua Lipa guy himself. So Jerry, if you wanted to pitch in for a Dua Lipa flag, feel free. And then Kobe said that he would make a donation for a beanbag for you, Clarence. Sit down right in front of us like our little buddy. Yeah, that'd be good.
I mean,
you can wear one of those twister hats.
I'm assuming once you get a legitimate microphone, you'll be on camera whenever we're here. And what are we calling this? Like Studio 2?
I don't know. The couch.
Let's not call it that.
Yeah. Just the couch. Anyways, we'll figure it out. We're probably gonna maybe keep doing more episodes from here. We'll see. But we probably want to get a little bit better setup. Kobe, we're not gonna call it the casting couch.
Well, that's where
I knew like as soon as we the couch, but no, probably not gonna go with that. Anyways, back to previewing football. Let's get into this upcoming week. Sunday, we got another London game. Jaguars, for some reason, get to stay there 2 weeks in a row, which actually, I don't know why I said for some reason that makes a lot of sense.
At what point do we just move them out there?
Yeah, seriously. There's not much of a fan base in Jacksonville anyways. Probably wouldn't be the worst idea. Just put them out.
No, it's like
out in London. But they're favored by 6 over the Patriots. That feels like way too much. Like, I don't care that's London. Like, weird, but the Jaguars.
Well, I'm pretty
6 any game.
May's hurt, right?
Huh?
So are they rolling out Brissett again? I thought I saw something about May's not going this week.
I don't. No,
check the injury report. Nothing.
No, I think Drake May is fine. I don't know what you.
I don't know.
I feel like he's hurt.
I swear to God, I thought he was hurt, or maybe they said they weren't going to play him. I don't know. I can guarantee
the game preview on ESPN says Drake May and the skidding Patriots could find a favorable matchup overseas against the Jaguars. So I feel like that probably wouldn't be the headline if he wasn't playing.
Yeah, my one takeaway from this is obviously London games are awesome, like with good games.
May is fine. He just had an MRI. Says Sam the Scam.
He wouldn't know that. Yeah, actually, I think he was the one who was talking to me about that. So my bad, Sam. But I can guarantee you, I will not be waking up for this game.
Yep. Nope. I'm not either. No thanks. Not a fun game to watch. All time, just bad watch game. Let's get into the actual Sunday slate though. Seahawks Falcons at noon. Falcons will be favored by 3. Seahawks are on a bad skid right now. They need to win desperately if they want to stay relevant in the playoff race. I don't think they get it here. I think the Falcons at home might be a little bit too much for them. Falcons have looked good after a little bit of a slow start. I think Kirk was kind of finding his footing a little bit, so I think they win this one.
Yeah, I agree. He's finding his footing, and then also Drake May is having a really big come out year for him. He's just looked really dominant. So I like the way they're playing, and I don't like the way the Seahawks are playing. Not Drake May, Drake fucking London.
Okay, I legitimately didn't pick up on either that you were talking about Drake London. I was like, who the hell is he talking about?
Yeah, sorry, we were talking about Drake May for way too long. Yeah, no, Drake London's been having a come out year has been really good. I like Falcons at home as well.
Okay. Titans and Bills. Bills will be favored by 9 at home, which is a lot.
I think I'm gonna hammer that.
But yeah, it always seems like a lot in the NFL. But you make a good point. Titans are really bad. I don't really see the upside there unless Levis can find whatever kind of flash he had last year that has just been seeming to elude him this year. And it'll be exciting to see the Bills. I think first game with Amari Cooper.
Yeah, they'll be juiced up for that.
See how integrated he is into the offense right away will be interesting to see. Bengals and Browns. The Ohio Toilet Bowl. Cincy is favored by 5.5 though. On the road at Cleveland. What is Nick Chubb coming back
this week?
It is okay, yeah. Because I saw he had some article in like the Players Tribune or whatever, so I figured he must have been probably back to playing. Could be big for my fantasy team. I have him stashed in a couple rosters, so if he's good, could be big time. But I feel like
his knee did like fully dislocate and bend the other way and break. So I don't know how good
he has like damn near done that once already though.
He did it in Georgia, yep.
And then he ended up being like one of the best.
He was like 21, 22 when that happened.
Yeah, and he's basically like the same age now.
Was it the same leg? I totally forget.
I don't really know.
Yeah,
not for sure.
I think you hope it's two different legs, right? Because then they're both on the same playing field.
Probably. I don't know. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's like I'm sure like if you tear one ACL, it's like at some point you just want to tear the other. Just get two fake ACLs in there, beef them both up. You'll never tear another ACL. It's when you keep tearing the same one over and over again. That's when it becomes a problem.
Okay.
I think I'm
you
actually
should consult with some sports medicine doctors.
Clyde, if you can do some deep research, I'm pretty sure there's a statistics where you're very
let's
more likely.
Let's just go to one of the Lincoln like hospitals and like get one of the doctors to come on our show.
No, because I'm almost positive a surgically repaired ACL like put your like normal ACL in like a really bad spot because it's way weaker than the surgically repaired one. So like you're way more likely to tear your other ACL if you've torn an ACL before.
I think Weezy's right.
I have no idea. So I'm not a fucking nerd.
If you can you try to Google that for me? I think I am right on that, by the way. Right. Yeah. Like the whole thing with ACL is like you never just tear it once.
Yeah, it's typically a reoccurring issue.
Yeah. Like at some point, if you're a young kid, might as well just get it right out of the way. You know, just like if you're an MLB, if you're a little kid pitcher and you're like 11, just get Tommy John right then.
Could be the move.
That's how Rookie of the Year started. You know?
Yeah, you got Tommy John.
Yeah, Tommy John. He's thrown 112.
Yeah, exactly. Awful movie, by the way.
I really like that movie.
Watch it back. It sucks. Does not hold up.
Okay, yeah. So does like Angels in the Outfield. I still love that movie.
Bad movie too. Little Big League.
No, it's just nostalgia for all those movies,
like,
dude.
It's still good though.
That's like we're in October now. Halloween Town, banned a movie when I was young. Watching it now. It's horrible. It's horrible, but it's nostalgia. It's nostalgia. 2 and 3 are bad. Yes, you're right.
No movie sucks. Trick or Treat. It's like a Halloween cult classic.
It's like
so bad.
Universe, so it's dog shit because it has no correlation.
No, it's like a little kids movie, like Halloween.
Like Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
The
kid with the bag. Yeah.
Yeah, that's in the mic.
Oh, really? Yeah, that movie
sucks. Makes no sense. Makes no sense.
Jason said, "Just get the inside scoop from Thomas Fidoni." Is that a reference to the knee injuries? Okay, yeah.
That is true.
All right, here we go. Yes, tearing one. Why do they have to fully type it out?
Jason said. All right, Clark, this is not your segment. Quit talking.
I'll fall.
We see what WebMD says to me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, tearing one. Why does it just ACL increases the risk of tearing the other one?
Okay, so Weezman was right. He's a doctor now.
I've done my research.
Let's move forward here. Dolphins, Colts favored by 3. When the hell's 2 coming back? Do you know?
Not this week, because that line would not be like that. I don't know if he's ever coming back, to be honest with you.
He might be dead. But I feel like Colts probably do win that game by 3 or more, especially if Flacco's playing. Yeah. Eagles, Giants. Eagles favored by 3 on the road. Neighbors is going to be back for the Giants.
Is he? I thought he was still questionable.
No, I have him on fantasy, and he was questionable. They removed the questionable even, so like he's just fully healthy now, I guess. So, as we look at the practice reports, it probably tells us what the deal is. Looks like he must have been a full participant because I don't see him on the injury report at all. So,
okay,
should be good to go. But I still think that where the hell am I at here? Oh, Eagles win. Even with Neighbors, I think that there's too much talent. Again, they've been.
I'm gonna be vice versa here.
The Giants win.
Yeah, I think the Eagles are just way too much in like a Lou-ish like feeling right now. They've not been playing good football, and with a healthy Malik Neighbors, the Giants shown that they can win football games.
Yeah.
What's the comment here?
Yeah, sorry, that's I was kind of zoned out. Cassidy is 2 to come back at the Jets, and then he said they have to be the only fans who would still do the Tua fingers. So that's what he wants to play against the Jets, so that he can get made. And then Sam just said Neighbors, and then Kobe said he was agreeing with Jason. Cletus needs to shut it down. So I guess they've had enough of Cletus already until the rank, of course. Anyways, Raiders, Rams. Rams are going to be favored by 7. Is Cup back now, right?
Yeah, he's back this week. I think he's still on the technically questionable.
But he'll be playing. Yeah. I think that's a fair line then. I think even without Cup or Nakua, the Rams will probably win this game because the Raiders are really bad.
Lost, receiver 1, but
lost Devontae.
And they earned a new one, Brock Bowers.
He's been on the team all year.
I know, but now he is the guy. And I think if they target him more, they're just going to win more games.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but I do think like fantasy owners with Brock Bowers.
Awesome.
It's a lot. That's more valuable. But I mean, I don't.
Yeah, the Raiders suck. They don't have a quarterback.
Yeah, they're bad.
Oh, by the way, Cass said he can't be the only one that wants more Kurt. So there's a vote of confidence. Maybe the first time ever.
That's literally the first.
And Brendan says he is. So we're about I don't know 4 negatives to 1 positive so far. So yeah, continue to feel free to keep letting us know if you're in favor or against Cletus, Clyde, Kurt, whatever. Yeah. Anyways, Panthers, Commanders should win this game. They're favored by 8 at home.
Can we just play Bryce Young?
Mm-hmm.
Can we just play Bryce Young?
Might as well, yeah.
It makes I get it. Change it up. Try to get a win. You get a win.
Well, the whole thing was too. They said
he's still your number 1. God, so do it now, right? Like that magic's gone. You drafted him number 1 overall. Just let him go in there. There's growing pains. If it still is bad, like I feel like they're already kind of in the boat where they want to get rid of him, like bringing in Andy Dalton. Just give him the year. Just see like if there's any progress to where you can be comfortable going into year 3, right? I think it's just bad front office work.
No, it's a good point. Also, we're gonna keep this going here. Kobe kind of maybe backtracked a little bit. He said you just need to save up for the rankings. He wants to get your best for the rankings. So that's why you said quiet down a little bit for now. Yeah, no, that's what his reasoning was there. So it wasn't trying to be too mad there. All right, Chiefs 49ers Super Bowl rematch. Niners gonna be favored by 2 at home. They're still not quite fully healthy. I mean, McCaffrey's still out. I think pretty much everybody else is healthy though now at this point, right?
Yeah,
just McCaffrey's missing. So it should be a good game. I mean, the Chiefs are going to have to play better in this one than they have been. They're 5-0. Can't dock for winning. And we know that the talent's always going to be there. But Chiefs haven't won pretty for a lot of the year so far. They're going to have to play a little bit more efficiently against the Niners if they're going to win this game. Because I get the Niners are 3-3, but they've been banged up. And they've played some tough opponents, stuff like that. So I don't think this is going to be a game that the Chiefs can sleepwalk through by any means. If they have.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. They haven't looked great. Neither of the Niners. I think one team's going to get a statement win.
Kobe said that. That Clark could just sit in the middle and just hold our mics the whole time.
Funny enough, actually, before show we were having conversations.
We were experimenting with it a little bit. Okay, you can hold it for a little bit. All right, he's holding my mic.
No, I'm saying whoever wins this game, it's going to be a statement win, right? Chiefs win this game, obviously, because people think they are already kind of.
That's always.
No.
Yeah. All right, give me the mic back.
Let's move on to the next game.
Okay. Jets Steelers. So Russell Wilson is starting, right?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, Russell Wilson, for some reason, is just going to start over Justin Fields. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Justin Fields, I think, has played fine all year for the Steelers. They're 4-2. Obviously, he's played well enough for them to get wins. They had an elite defense. All he has to do is just be okay. But they're gonna roll out Russell Wilson, we haven't seen all year long. See how it goes. Jets first game now with Devontae Adams. They have one of if not the best wide receiver duo in the league now with Devontae and Garrett Wilson. If Rodgers can play well, if they can pick up that old chemistry away, I mean, it's a real game changer for the Jets.
100%. I mean, they looked so much better last week too. I think it is going to be a game changer. I think the Jets are finally going to be a team that a lot of people thought they'd be a wild card team. They haven't quite looked like it. I think they started to turn in the right direction last week. I think it's just going to continue to get better. And then I have a bone to pick with this George Pickens guy going on podcast calling like Amon-Ra St. Brown a slot merchant.
Oh, I did not see that.
Yeah, hey pal, Jared Goff has more receiving touchdowns than you this year.
Ooh,
so I'd
burn.
Yeah, right. Am I right? Give me some skin for that one.
Yeah.
Come on. So I'd focus, maybe kind of getting in the end zone before you start talking shit. So fuck him.
Yeah. Cass said Dangerous, Mr. Unlimited. So
damn it.
yeah,
Put a ball in my
yeah.
brain.
I'm hyped for Mr. Unlimited to come back. And Kobe just said Mr. Rajas. So yeah, we got Mr. Rajas versus Mr. Unlimited. So it should be a hell of a game.
This game would have been so sick in 2016.
Monday night, Ravens, Buccaneers. Could be a really good game, I think. Bucs are gonna be at home. Ravens are still favored by 3.5. I think the Ravens are the better team here, but I think the Bucs being at home makes it interesting enough that they could possibly, yank out a win here. But I would probably still take the Ravens.
Yeah, I mean, they're both playing great ball, but like you said, I think the Ravens have just looked
They're
too
just
good.
rolling.
Mark Andrews is finally back to, being Mark Andrews. And yeah, they just got an unreal force there in the backfield. So yeah, I like the Ravens here.
And then finally, last game, we got a doubleheader on Monday night this week. It could be an interesting one. Chargers, Cardinals, two teams that are kind of don't really know what to think of them yet. Look good some weeks, look really bad other weeks. Excuse me. But I feel like at the end of the day here, the Chargers are probably the better team, but at the same time, Cardinals at home. If you get a big game from Kyler Murray, one where he just does things that a lot of other guys in the NFL can't, could have a chance. But I think if I had to pick a winner here, I'd probably go Chargers.
Yeah, I would too. Also, I'm looking at ESPN. Is this like is this a paywall game? Is this like only on ESPN
Yeah,
Plus?
so I'm not sure on that.
Because obviously, typically,
I would just
there's
notice
two
that
Mondays at 6:30 and 7:20. This one's at 7:20 and 8. And I'm curious because I'd be genuinely shocked if they threw an NFL game behind a paywall.
I'm trying to look. Says this is Fox. That can't be right. No, ESPN Plus exclusive game.
Wow, it's got to be demoralizing.
It says, well, it might be on Manning Cast too, I guess. So that kind of counts.
Rather watch like a 4-hour
Okay,
documentary.
no, yeah, it is. Okay, it actually is airing locally on Fox, like the Foxnet region.
Okay,
so that's weird though.
Yeah,
very odd. I guess to be fair, I mean we have kind of paywalled games already. I mean Thursday Night Football's Prime.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, and then for years you've had to buy a Sunday ticket if you want to watch your team and if you're out of market. So
yeah, that's fair.
But anyways, Kobe Destin, does he start Pat Mahomey or Mr. Rogers this week?
I'd go Rogers personally.
Rogers playing the Steelers and Mahomes playing the Niners. That's a brutal pick because that's two of the best.
Yeah, can you get like Will Levis on waivers?
Yeah, you should pick up Will Levis.
He's fun. He's fun to root for.
Better yet, can I throw you a real sleeper here? Malik Willis. Rumors are flying the Packers might run a 2-quarterback set. They recognize that Malik was arguably the second best quarterback in the NFL behind Jordan Love. So could be a big opportunity for them to both score big this week.
Okay. Yeah, I don't hate that.
Just want to throw that out there too. What?
Odell Beckham is cleared to play. So
I'm pretty sure he played like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but he's cleared to be the guy. I'm sorry. All right. Yeah. I picked him in my 20-man league. He's looking really good. He's looking healthy. He looks like he's going to get 20 points minimum.
All right. Kobe said that he also has Goff against the Vikes, and he said, Carter, shut it. I play you. Yeah, in that case, pick up Malik Willis. Did not play you, but all right. Finally, let's get to our teams. We've left that for like the very end. So Lions playing the Vikings, very big game this week. It's going to be at 12. Probably going to be on your TV in most areas. It's going to be the national game, I assume, on the 12 p.m. slot for Fox. Vikings going to be favored by 1.5, but I don't know. I'd probably take the Lions, I think, here. I still think that they're the much better team. Listen, Vikings have been hot. I'll give credit where credit's due. It's hard to win football games in the NFL, and they've been winning football games. But at some point, the Cinderella story comes, maybe not even complete to an end, but comes at least to a slower pace.
Comes to a
like top to a. God, that podcast is so good. We should turn this off. We should go watch that.
All right, enough.
All right. Are you gonna give your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I didn't know if you were.
Sit there and
I kind of cut you off when you said that.
talking about talk to.
No,
it's massive. It's almost as big as low taper.
I think the Lions are an infinitely better football team than Minnesota. I think you'd agree with me. Like we both kind of say it, and I think Detroit's arguably the best team in football. The big kicker here is like how bad does this defense maybe become without Aiden Hutchinson? So it's gonna be a big week. I thought they would have already traded for an edge. There's reports that it's still going to happen, maybe just not this week. So I still like the Lions here. Like the way that offense clicks, I think their defense can afford to give up 30, 36 points.
I mean, I kind of already said my thoughts, so I won't go any farther. Kobe said collab. I'd be down. Us talk to Costco guys. Let's run it. Yeah, it'd be the collab of the century, really.
We bring the boom.
Yeah, that's what we do. But Texans Packers. I think big game here for the Packers. A lot of people were upset. I mean, really, both these games, Packers, Texans, and Lions, Vikings, both should have been flexed to the 325 slots. Because I know with prime time, you're not allowed to like flex like
week 11.
Yeah, not until week 11. Actually, I think there's a special rule where like Sunday Night Football, you can do it twice before week 11, but it has to be like 2 weeks in advance.
Which is, by the way, a bullshit rule because like there's so many things that can happen. Like sometimes there's storylines preseason that like you look out for, and then it's like last year's the perfect example. Aaron Rodgers goes down, and we had like 6 primetime Jets games with Mark White or Zach Wilson. It's like I don't want to watch that. America does not want to watch that. No. These are 2 perfect games for a night game.
But even still, looking past that, they can still flex these to like the 325 slots
where they're like flex the Bears Commanders for next week.
Yeah, where they're not standalone but close. And so it's like, why would you not do that? Like perfect opportunity to just because you can do those with like
does the West Coast the West Coast come into play though? Like one of those games, like if like it's 2 West Coast teams like that are in the 325, you don't want to move those to noon. You can't.
I guess.
The one though that should be flexed is like, okay, so why is Panthers Commanders at 305? Like one of those games should have got flexed there. And there's a fly that just keeps rolling.
Yeah, I know. It's landed on my leg like 4 times. It's driving me crazy. Anyways, Packers gonna be favored by 2.5 at home against the Texans. Good test here for the Packers, I think. I'm pretty confident. I think that they have a chance to win this game. I think that they will win the game. But Texans are a very good team. Today, Junior.
Whatever that was.
Yeah,
get that away from me.
Mess today, Junior. Texans though looks very good this year. One loss to the Vikings, kind of a fluke loss, I think. But like the Packers, hope they win. Obviously, I don't really have a whole lot else to say. I'm just pretty positive with the Packers right now, though, and I think that they have a very good chance to win the game. So.
I think with the Texans, like Nico Collins going down is a bigger deal than most people think. Obviously, they still have Tank Dell and Diggs, but like they don't really have that take the top off kind of guy like they did with Nico, who would just burn you on a go route, regardless of whether there's a high safety or not. So losing him's key, and I like you said, the Packers are rolling at the right time. I like the Packers here.
Kobe said Clyde start DMing talk to a Costco guys, Rizzler and Baby Gronk for collabs.
Rizzler's a little bit out of touch. That guy is bigger than life right now. So,
yeah,
I can't really reach him.
It's true. He is huge. Anyways, that's
he is big.
I didn't mean like that. Come on, guys. He's like 8.
Down the chicken pigskin.
Yeah, no. He's a little bowling ball. But that's what does it, I think, for the week 8 or week 7 NFL preview.
Disclaimer too, with the whole studio miscue and a bunch of dorks stealing it and stuff, and we don't really know our schedule. We do not have bets, but starting next episode, which I don't know if we've said before, we will not be having an episode this upcoming Monday.
Unfortunately, we're not going to be here Monday either. We're
both out of town.
We'll be out of town. It's fall break here, so
we'll be back Thursday, and we'll be getting bets going because I know I had a horrific last week that we did it. So I think we're almost neck and neck in the races. So we better pick that one up.
Yeah, Kobe said we need Kevin G too. That would also be great. Do you know Kevin G? You don't know Kevin G? He's like the kid that can't walk. Like he has like some disease. No, like he has like a disease, like osteoporosis or something.
He was before the wave of
he was
little kids. He was the first one.
He was like the first one. Yeah.
He was known because I'm sorry, he's a little kid. He's annoying as shit.
Well, it's like his videos open up. He goes, "Hello, friends," and then he starts like talking about like whatever. It's pretty funny. No, you gotta look at Kevin G.
I'm trying to right now.
It's pretty funny.
We can get
also figure out the schedule. It's first of all not our fault. The past week or so, this has been the dorks' fault.
Tuesday kind of was, but we don't have to talk.
Tuesday
about that.
Kind of a little bit. But even that still.
This kid.
We just warned about. Yeah,
I've seen him before.
Yeah, Kevin Gabor. And then But at least we're giving you a heads up now, Sammy J, that we're not going to be here next Monday. Listen, we'd love to be, but
Also, this is like his first time tuning in ages.
yeah, Sammy J.
He's not allowed to
don't
come and
act like
boss
you've
us
been
around.
here, like waiting for it. You've missed probably the last 5 or 6 episodes, so let's calm down. Then Kobe also says Bren in for Bren, also a great one. I don't know if I'd be able to hold a conversation with that guy though. I don't know if you guys have ever seen him, but he is.
What about James Straws? He's kind of fallen off. We can bring him back
James
up.
Straws, yeah, we could bring him back to relevance. Yeah, what happened to his brand?
Probably could get him on the podcast. Reed's cousin is like best friends with him.
We're gonna opt out on that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Sorry,
that was okay.
Yeah, I'm not.
But we do have a connection.
Okay, and then he said, "Not my fault because I never know you guys are going live changes every week." Not really.
No, it
We've
doesn't.
been here every single Thursday, and you haven't been here, so I actually don't remember the last time we've missed a Thursday show. So
It's been a long
it's been a
time.
long time since we missed a Thursday show. And again, you know what, Sammy J, life happens, so we do our best. But we're here. Anyways, let's get past that. We're gonna go to one more commercial break. When we come back, we'll do rock hard takes. We will do Kelly Key rankings, and then we'll get the hell out of here. So once again, you'll listen to Rock Hard Ball, part of the Dogs Media Network at College Football Dogs, and we will be right back.
On the College Football Dogs website, you'll find a main page that features some of our biggest and newest stories. Our conference pages for content related to your favorite team's conference. Our team store, where we have products that are available all year long, as well as gear available for a limited time only. Our podcast page, where you can see when one of the 12 plus College Football Dogs podcasts is streaming live on social media. Our subscription page, where you can join our Discord. If you're interested in becoming a contributor at College Football Dogs, email us at info@collegefootballdogs.com. If you enjoy any College Football Dogs content, we really do appreciate any donations you can make by visiting the donate page on our website or scanning the QR code here.
College Football Dogs, for the fans.
We bring the
welcome back
boom.
to Rock Hard Ball as Weezy's bringing the boom out of commercial break. Quick reminder, I guess, if you haven't noticed, scrolling across the bottom there, I guess we were just talking about the schedule. Yeah, it's been a little inconsistent lately, but for the most part, Mondays and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Central Time, tune in. We'll usually be here. Thursdays especially, we almost never miss that. Mondays can be hairy once in a while, but for the most part, we are here on Mondays as well. Just the last 2 weeks have been a little shaky. But so yeah, make sure you tune in. And also social media stuff there, scrolling across the bottom at Rock Hard Ball or at Rock Hard Ball Pod. Virtually every platform. Go check us out. Follow along that way. If we cannot go live for a show, or if we're going live at a different time, so you can know whether to not look for it or to look for it. So make sure you're checking that stuff out as well. As you can see here, Rock Hard Takes tonight is going to be numbers of beers drank in a night. So basically, what that is we'll just be drafting what the perfect amount of beers to drink in a night is. Because sometimes there's kind of just those weird numbers, those weird spots where you're kind of teetering between two different zones where it's just not really worth it to go over. And yeah, I guess that's kind of how it goes. I believe I have no overall pick. So for my first pick, I'm going to go with a classic. Well, maybe not classic, maybe kind of borderline alcoholic if you're not in college. But I'll just go like a 12-pack. I think 12-pack is
a good one.
You get a very good buzz going. If not, probably drunk for most people. Unless you're like an actual alcoholic, maybe a 12-pack doesn't get you drunk. But most people, you're definitely a little drunk at that point. But it's also not so much to the point where you get messy by any means. So you're just in a good flow state, I think, with 12.
Yeah.
For anybody who's like a weekend drinker, a 12-pack puts you in a pretty good spot. So
yep.
That's the fairly obvious one. There's a couple other ones that I think that are kind of close, but I think that's a pretty good one.
I'm just gonna go off what maybe is normal. My next two are gonna be 8 and then 6. I think 8's like the perfect, maybe before you go out, maybe switch over to something.
God, we sound 8 right before you go out.
And then 6 is like the perfect, like maybe by yourself, just watching like a Thursday night like NHL game. Just put back a quick 6-pack.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I don't think that's that crazy.
No, I don't think it's that crazy either. It just, I do think that there's definitely like people out there who'd listen to this and be like, "What the hell's wrong with these guys?"
Not really. We're young.
Yeah.
12 beers.
Kelby said 8 3/4, which is a weird.
I was gonna go
number, but
7, but I wanted to round it. Like, I'm trying to think of like,
yeah,
if you're like, my whole emphasis is like, if you grab that 7th beer, you're probably gonna go till you can't anymore. Like, 'cause that one does sound bad to say. But no, like a nice 7 before you go out is nice. Like 12 before you go out, depending on when you start, or like could be a little hazy. Like,
yeah,
we know some guys who will put down a lot of drinks before they go out, and then it's maybe a problem.
yeah, a little problem. Anyways, next one for me. I feel like going lower than 6 is kind of a tough spot to be.
I think there's one number.
I think there's one number. I'll maybe leave it for now. Maybe just let you take it, but for now I'm gonna go up. Above.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go next pick. I'm gonna go 15. I think 15 is a good number in terms of like when you want to get like you want to get drunk, like you want to get like very intoxicated. But I also think, again, depending on the person, but me personally, 15 usually I'm still like conscious, like so. As long as I don't like put them all down like super fast.
I think 15 is bad because you're still conscious enough to where like if you do dumb shit, you can still be very much held accountable for it. Where I think if you go north of 15, you can just blame it on
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like I feel like a majority of people actually don't like being blacked out. So
that's fair.
So like I think I'd rather just 15 is usually probably about my sweet spot, like where I'm feeling really good, but like I still have most control over my actions.
Okay.
So I'll go with that. And then actually I'm gonna change my mind. I'm gonna go back low. I'm gonna go 3. It's my next one. I think that's the only other one that you can go with. Gets you right to that point where that's probably the perfect amount of beers you can have is again, for the majority of people, probably the perfect number that you can have, maybe just over at a friend's house for like an hour or two and then drive home.
Yeah.
Do it legally. Or like Kobe said, lunch beers, maybe not like an actual like work lunch, but like, if you went out to lunch with some buddies, you each have 2 or 3 beers, drive home. No, I'm done.
Okay.
So go with that.
Yeah. You just said my number, 2. 2 is like the perfect number of like, I don't plan on drinking at all, but maybe I am going somewhere or doing something where I maybe just want to like take the edge off a little bit. Like, I'm trying to like think of a good example. You guys can probably like back me up. Yeah, maybe like a dinner with not necessarily like friends, but like maybe people you don't really know. Just pound a quick 2 beers before you leave.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're doing like a podcast on a Monday. Just crush a little 2. Just take these off a little bit.
Take the edge off.
This is gonna sound drastic. And my next one, I'm gonna go 24.
Okay.
So this only works though on like
This
like
is an
a
all day.
planned college
Yeah.
football Saturday. Like you and all your friends are waking up at 8. You're maybe like playing darts in the yard or something, and then like from like 6, 7, 8 a.m. till like maybe 9 o'clock, 24 beers just throughout the day. You're just coasting drunk for 12, 14 hours. That can be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Let's take it a step further. I've seen it done. I've seen it done a couple times. We'll throw it out there. We're gonna go with the Busch Light 30 rack. The Busch Light 30 rack. It's basically the exact same concept as you just said. It's got to be a very long day. And you probably got to mix in a little bit of water at some point.
I think with 30 and 24, you almost need to mix in a nap. You got to break the day off into
probably
2.
a nap as well. But 30 is basically just the 24. But because again, this sounds really bad. But like 24, if broken up over a long day and mixed in a couple waters, a nap, you're really not that messy.
No, you just put in just an absurd amount of calories that you certainly do not need to put in your body.
Exactly.
And then that DoorDash order at night makes it even worse. But
yeah, because you can get the exact same effect from drinking 24 all day, or you could just drink like you said 8 like within 2 hours before you go out, and you have the same effect.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's all of them, right?
I think I have one more, right?
Or yeah, you do have one more.
I haven't even thought about a number.
Kobe.
Should we go even taller?
No, Kobe dropped a good one here. I'll throw it out there since you don't have the comments. He said 9 or 18, depending on how many holes you're playing golf.
Okay, I don't like getting like because 9's fine, depending if it's like a long Saturday round that's like maybe 5 hours. 9's fine, but like I'm not one to I don't like getting fucked up on the golf course.
18 is probably I don't really ever get too messed up.
No, then you're swinging blinded on like the 16th hole.
Yeah.
It's never fun. Unless you're playing like dog shit, then it's different. I'm gonna have to think for a second here. Is that all right?
Yeah. Just don't take like an hour.
I won't.
I'm sure you will. You always do.
I'm gonna go 1.
Don't like that. That
It's
feels
a
like
bad pick. But what else am I
it's
gonna
a waste
take?
of money.
No, you have like a leftover beer on a Sunday morning, and maybe you feel like shit. You're like, maybe this one beer can work wonders.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna polish off that one
Maybe.
beer in
I
my
don't know.
fridge.
Fountain of youth.
Yeah.
It brings you back to life. Yeah.
It's a bad
would've-
pick, but I don't think it's like what am I
10?
gonna do? Like throw out 17? Just throw out 17.
10.
10 is just worse than 8 and even worse than 12.
Yeah, it's a weird spot, but I don't know. Well, I guess I can see the reason behind 1. It's okay. I get it. You were in a tough spot.
Like last night, I wanted.
Kobe said PBR does make a 96 pack. You could have went with that 96.
I don't want to die.
Oh, Clyde's drinking a PBR. Didn't even notice that.
No, like maybe like it's a Tuesday, like maybe you had a long day, you just did some shit and like your sports team's on, maybe like a NBA game on a Tuesday. Just have 1 beer for the game.
Yeah, I probably should. Like, in that case, I'll probably just drink like 6, like you said earlier.
Yeah, that's why I took it earlier. Because I'd probably have 6 there.
Yeah,
but like,
no, I get it. You were in a tough spot.
Oh, literally last night.
Last night,
Lounge the ball came back to the court. Amen. So happy he's back. Clyde's happy too. So I had to sit down for that one, and I was like, I have 1 beer in the fridge. I'm gonna drink that 1 beer and watch him.
Rizzo, baby.
Could have also went like the one step farther too earlier when I was talking about like the 15, like, and you said like the blackout, like you'd almost rather just at that point put yourself in the grave. Could have went like 18 or 20. Like,
I just took 24.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Who cares? All right. Kobe said attaboy, Clyde. So the PBR. PBR. So Kobe said no after work 1 beer. I stand on this. I'm kind of confused on what that. No after work 1 beer.
Yeah, like 1 beer once you get home from work.
That's not.
I think that's what I meant. Yeah, I don't. I just was making sure. But anyways, all right. Yeah,
It's
that's
like a nice little debrief.
Yeah.
Like 1 with dinner.
Yep.
Because now some people like who drink wine, like a glass of wine with dinner.
Yeah. What's up with like?
Yeah, it's like have a beer with dinner.
Beer's like it's taboo when it comes to dinner. Sometimes wine's totally acceptable.
Yeah.
It's fancy. It's weird.
Fancy pants. All right. Let's Oh, I forgot to even play the rock hard taste intro tonight. Damn it. Anyways, we will not forget the intro though for Kelly's Kinky Rankings. Love her to hate it. Here it is. In a world of politics, war, bad beats, and watching your favorite sports teams come up short, sometimes you just need to hear a guy rank random shit. Enter your hero, Colin Kelly, here today for another edition of Kelly's Kinky Rankings.
All right, hammering in. We're doing athletes that are also artists. This could be like kind of the spectrum of like they could play an instrument or if they actually make music on like Spotify or SoundCloud. So 5, we're gonna go with Kobe Bryant. This one hits the plays the piano kind of beat. So Kobe is a fantastic piano player. He has a song on YouTube of him playing Moonlight Sonata, and yeah, I mean Kobe. He's a man's man. We all love him, and I mean he tried impressing his wife by learning the piano, and he became fantastic at it. And he posted a couple of videos of him playing the piano. So yeah, put him at 5. He's good at it.
All right, number 4 here.
Number 4, shout out Zoe. We're going with Lonzo Ball, ZO2. I mean ZO2 is a phenomenal song. I really have never met anyone that's disagreed.
I think I heard it way back in the day, but I don't think
Feeling like ZO2. ZO2. Yeah, ZO2 is a phenomenal song. He also did a Free Smoke freestyle, which that one is way better. So Lonzo Ball at UCLA made a ton of music.
Triple B's, man. People scared to change.
Feeling like ZO2. Feeling like ZO2. Yep.
What you rockin' ZO2? Going past some ZO2. You know I got a ZO2. Pay respect and pay your dues. Switch your lane, ZO2. I change your game, ZO2.
Not bad.
I mean, along with that, it was also a plug to his shoe, which is ironically enough the ZO2. So ZO2 is absolute banger. Lonzo Ball, I mean, he can rap fairly well. Like his Free Smoke freestyle is like actually like really good. I had it on my playlist when I was in middle school, so he's actually pretty decent. So put him at 4. 3, we're gonna be going with 7th Floor Crew. I mean, it's a pretty iconic, I mean, you guys heard of Wu-Tang? Nah, but I've heard of the 7th Floor Crew. I mean, you got Greg. Yeah, they call me G Ray. Actually, I don't. Can I get hit?
Yeah.
God, dude. I mean, Greg Olson. Greg. Yeah, it's something crazy, but I mean,
Yes.
Greg Olson, former Bear. I miss him. But yeah, I mean, great rap group. Yeah.
2.
2 are going Dame Dollar. This one's actually probably the most like legitimate rapper out of the group. Like,
No, I know. I did it on accident one time.
thought it works.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
perfect. Dame Dollar, he actually makes a lot of good music. Like, he actually has like a handful of songs, and he gets it actually like pretty down. He gets it produced, and he tries really hard. I mean, Dame Dollar is like an actual rap name. So Dame Dollar, number 1 is pretty no brainer.
DJ Diesel.
I mean, DJ Diesel, yeah, it's kind of corny because he doesn't actually do the DJs. It's all a pre-recorded set, but he's more of a performer. But Shaq, being a rapper, he has a song with Notorious B.I.G., which is actually really good. It's a really good song. It's I think it's Party and Bullshit. I think that's the name of it, but it's really good. It's a really good song. My dad used to bump it when I was a little kid. So yeah, I mean, that one's the one that's resonated me the most. I'm gonna go with Shaq. Yeah.
All right, word up.
Pretty good translate from
solid rankings. Solid rankings, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Shaq's kind of hard to beat. I don't really know what else.
I know Weezy got any thoughts on the rankings there? Nope, shaking his head no.
Yeah.
All right. Kobe said that as a fellow Kobe, Kobe should have been number 1. And then he said, 85 Bears better be number 1. I don't know.
The Super Bowl shuffle is like, yeah, but like other people have like mimicked that, and it's been kind of better. I mean, Super Bowl shuffle, it's. I don't know.
He also made a good point. You forgot Big Country. He
Big Country
played for the Tiger Pirates. Hell of a country artist.
Yeah,
it's Kobe.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't Garth Brooks also like a Garth Brooks played? Didn't Garth Brooks like play for the Tigers? I feel like I'm like Garth Brooks. Like he played in the MLB. I'm almost positive he played in the MLB.
That
I might be wrong, but I feel like he played in the MLB for like a short period of time. I feel like he did. Unless I'm just like talking out of my ass. It's a different country guy, but I thought he did. Yeah, he played spring training.
I think that's like one of those things where like they like let him come play.
Who cares? I don't think he did. He's not. No. Yeah, but that was like a joke. I think he like legitimately played.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he signed with the Padres for spring training.
Did not warrant placing him on the regular season roster.
Oh yeah, no shit, it's Garth Brooks. But like, look at that card. Look at the Garth Brooks card right there. He actually has a card. So yeah, Garth Brooks played. I mean, I could have added him, but I'm not the biggest fan of his music. So.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Solid ranking, Kelly. Kobe said you're thinking of Alan Jackson. I don't know if that was to it. I don't know if he also was.
All right. I don't know if he. Yeah.
Let's see if we can find it here.
Oh, dude, I should have done fucking Shadir. Perfect timing. Perfect timing.
I don't know.
That would have been a good one.
All right. Okay. So Weezy is in the comments on his own show. It's a disappointing list.
Man.
All right. Let's slow
the roll.
Let's
all right.
switch microphones. Here you go. All right. You had that turned way up. You were probably loud as hell. Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
The little thing down here is the switch. Hopefully, it didn't make too big of a difference, but yeah. All right. That's Kelly's Kinky rankings. Not bad today. Probably the best one he's had in a while. I don't. What did you think?
I mean, it wasn't a total disaster like some.
Yeah.
You can't debate with it really that much.
Yeah, that one's. I also just don't know enough. Like,
yeah, I know
to really be mad about it. So.
Free smoke, Lonzo Ball.
Yeah.
Listen to it.
No.
I've listened. It's good. Yeah, it's really good.
All right. Well. The streams just ended. Okay, that was fun. I think we're still live. I don't know. No, we're still live. Okay. That being said, though, I think that's probably gonna about do it for the rest of Rock Hard Takes. Or not Rock Hard Takes, Rock Hard Ball. Thank you guys all for joining us. We appreciate it. For some reason, I just got kicked out of the stream on my computer for a second, but hopefully you can still hear me. That'll do it though. So we thank you guys all for joining us, and we will see you all next time.
That was good.